VPN, which does not do that. In VPN, you can only have one.
Right. Really need that. You can have Eclipse open, okay. That. Right. Yeah, this is what I've been working on yesterday. This is right. It's really important at the moment. Yeah, I haven't checked if Twitch works. Okay, bitrate looks good. Even though the stream itself isn't loading for some reason. Right. Killbot. This is the old version. Well, not the old version, this is the current working version. Working on this package. Right, item fee. So, check if the cache entry is outdated. Cache. Right. Check this. LDB it every already present. If should be if entry. When someone was saying how many typos I have in my comments wasn't lying. All API for prices, or outdated values. Okay. I guess my cache is just this dictionary price cache. Right, so I get event from the database. Right, so this event will be okay. Prices. Give me any autocomplete options. Prices are imported. Can't really go to the definition. That is it cache and I have no dropped frames, but still I can't load the stream monitored. My stream monitor doesn't show up. Very odd. Right. Duration. I guess I don't really need it at the moment. Okay, going back to this. I don't want to make progress here because this yesterday I didn't do anything, any proper coding on this. Check if cache entry. First of all, I need some structure of this event. How can I do that? I guess you just need to load the database. I guess. But there are a couple of ways. Probably the database will be the easiest one. Just load an entry from the database. Database tunnel. can actually connect. Right. Just have events, some data, any old data. Right, so this is the data I'm looking for. This is the event I will be parsing. You just need it anywhere. Have a JSON file somewhere. Test. These are images and views. Where can I place it? Do I have any JSON files laying around? Not really. I'll just create a new one. Can increase the volume of the music a little bit. Right. File name. Sample. On. Nice that on. There's quite a lot of data. How can I format it? Box solution, find. Was under refactoring. Let's see refactoring options. Bug. Source. Format. Happen. That's annoying. Happen. Right. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let's do a quick Google. JSON in Eclipse. Window. Blah, blah. So JSON editor is included. Okay. All nice and good. Just got the notification that I'm live. That's nice. Text editor, insert space. Right. Like 2 years and 3 months ago. Ask 6 years ago. Configure the change. Okay, let's take a look at its configuration, I guess. Settings. JSON. Oh. What kind of editor this is? Looks like JavaScript. And with. Oh, node clips. Yeah, this is a node editor. Take a look, JSON. Maybe I need to install something. Okay, let's do that. Take a look at the marketplace. Maybe they have something. Well, they should have something. But, JSON. Let's see. On editor, 250,000 download. Developer tools, CSS and JSON editors, JavaScript developer. I have this installed. Web developer HTML, TypeScript, Node.js, JSON. Does like with text editor. Oops. Base. Huh. Yeah, I don't see anything specific to JSON. So allegedly it ports that somehow. WWD wild web developer. Okay, let's just install a dedicated editor. Just the license. Accept. Installing science software from which authenticity or validity cannot be established. The installation. On edit. Okay, let's install it anyways. Okay, let's start Eclipse. Seems like I'm doing quite a lot of okay, installing from marketplace shouldn't give me a warning like that. At least I wouldn't expect. Close it. Let's try opening it in the JSON editor now. And with JSON editor. Okay. Okay, formatting works now. That's good. I don't really like the colors though. I think it's very dark. I guess it's set up for light theme. Change that on. It doesn't have any options. Right. On editor, let's see. Coloring. Default is black. Also, this is not black. All is black. Okay, let's change that. Comment. Let's make something lighter. Text. Change text. Something brighter as well. Default. I'm not really sure what the default means. In value, make them red, kind of reddish. Null can be shade of orange. E will be this kind of. Need something sharper. Now I have null and keys. This numbers, yeah, numbers should be brighter. Well, comments and numbers are very similar now. Yellowish. And key values. Keys could be this purple color. Okay, and close. Okay, it's a lot more readable now. So we can, well, we have a structure of our events. Right. Yeah. And there's quite a lot of data to go through. Yeah, I'm not willing to create objects based on this data. Because I don't really need all that much data as well. Okay. So what do we have? Timestamp, event ID. That's not... everything is irrelevant. Killer's equipment. Actually, this won't be calculated the price. We don't really care what the killer was wearing. We don't really care about the items of the victim. So this is the key information. This is the type of item or ID of an item. And then we have a quality. Need these pieces of data. Equipment. So this is, I guess this is the definition of an item. You can have active, passive spells. Let's take a look. After equipment inventory, yes. So inventory items also have the same fields, from what I can tell. Bag, mountain captor. It has a type, it has a count, quality, active and passive spells. Well, spells don't really affect the item price. So we only care about the type, quality and quantity. Okay, let's go back and check the API. The portal. Oh yeah, this is from yesterday's stream. Looks like I have it closed for some reason. Alright. Find it back. Had a link somewhere saved. Yeah, this one. So this one returns some data about the price. Let's see if we place... What can we replace? This type. I think I can just use this type as is. All be fine. Then location. I don't really care about location, so let's remove that. Port sterling. Qualities. Sure, it has quality. It has quality 4. Okay. Let's do this. I get some data. It's nice. Cape item. Oh, so this is Imhurst Cape. Enchantment level 2 and quality 4. Okay. Pretty good cape. Well, it's tier 4 still. Yes, so I can just... Right, so this is the crucial part I need to parse. Okay. guess I can use a list of dictionaries. Each dictionary has the type and quality. Yeah, that's the key thing I need. And then I can deal with the response in some other way after I get it. After I see what I actually get. Well, I will get this data, but first of all I need to deal with this. The sending part. Alright. Check if entry dated. This is outdated. Maybe I should... Yeah, first of all I should check if it's present. Right. Should I make a different method? I don't think I really need it. Price cache. Let's do that if... Oh yeah, I probably need to parse it out first. Right. Yeah, maybe I need to create an item. Oh yeah, I already have a class, data class for item. As an ID, timestamp, item ID, and price. Not sure, maybe the default value should be none for this. I wouldn't have to provide it. Both timestamp and ID, because all I will get initially will be just item ID and price. Not even that, item ID, it will be all. Maybe quality? Actually, it's an integer. We'll have 3 properties initially, and we can add these. Well, ID will come from the database, and timestamp I will just assign it as needed. Right. I guess I just need to create a method that parses out this event. Have it open. Have it visible all times. Right. Yeah, because I don't really care which where the items are. So this is a list, inventory is a list, and equipment is dictionary. Dictionary of dictionaries, and each key represents the equipment slot where the item is equipped. And inventory just is a list of all item dictionaries. Okay, that's easy enough. Alright, let's do that. Find a function, parse items, take in event. Let's see, do I have logging? I do have logging, so log start. Do I want to parse out? I guess well, if I'm debugging, might as well print out the event itself. F. Start parsing items from the event. Okay. First of all, I need to loop for key value in event. What's the path? First of all is victim and equipment. So this will be path to the dictionary, initial dictionary that we iterate over. Key we don't really care about. Take a value and to create a new list. Create an empty list. Sure, how should I do this? Since this is a dictionary, oh, it's actually JSON. Actually, do with it. Maybe I need to create an object out of it? Or will it be an object by itself? See, what do I do with that event here? Event ID, event, h1. I'm calling it here. Event, when I initialize it doesn't have any. Oh, event here. Let's assign it to self event. How do I actually parse it? So this is already an object? Yeah, I don't see anything being done with it. Okay, well, I guess if it's a string representing an object, it automatically gets converted into one in Python. That's cool. Right. So all the methods we're used to, let's see, map has keys, if I remember correctly. Right, so what I'm thinking is create a new function. Find get items. This is an internal method. Function items from list. And we just take in a list. And then we iterate over it. List. Well, it's a list. Empty list. Hey, welcome back, Risk. I'm finally doing some programming on my actual bot. Oops. I thoroughly overslept today, so I'm starting this late. So I'm gonna finish late as well, because I really want to do some progress on this. Alright, so for each item in list, create a new instance of errors, just append, and as an object we create new instance of an item with item ID coming from this item. You can take a look. Items are structured like this. So type is the ID. Assign type as an ID. The next value is quality. Quality comes from item. Quality. And the last is price. Oh, price is not actually known. What should I do about that? Maybe I can just define it as, well, default value as none. Be done with it. Not worry about it for the time. Right. Yeah, I have too many loose ends at the moment. It's kind of annoying to keep track of everything. And at the end I return res result. So here, instead of in this function, I just call get items from list. As a list I provide event and victim equipment. Then I provide equipment, right? Equipment, and I extract keys. So this should result in a list, unless it has no items. But in that case, it will return an empty list. Because it is possible that the victim doesn't have any items. How does that look? You have an easy way to find kills like that. And I need to look into the data. Okay, well, whatever. Right. Now I actually append items and there are other methods I could use. Append all, for example. 13 extend. Yeah, extend. That sounds like something I'm looking for. And get items from list. This time I provide pretty much the same, but it's gonna be a list right off the bat. Event victim instead of equipment. It's inventory because that's inventory is already a list. Right. Parsing of items should be done. I return the items. Right. So this is very simple, basic stuff. Right. Load cache. Oh yeah, cache is called once when I initialize it. Okay. Now, when I'm updating cache, first of all, I need to get items. So parse items. Parse items. Pass along the event. My items turned. This is a type list. Can I define its type? If it will work like this. Okay. Guess we can try it. See what it does. Like that. Okay. On default argument. Okay, where was it from? Prices. Item ID. I guess yeah, the values should go first, the ones that are required. Okay. Let's rerun it again. What's the problem now? Connection cursor as cursor. Attribute error. setup. What's wrong with this? Attribute error, enter. Not sure what the issue with this. Power prices load cache. They don't really pass any arguments, so I'm not sure it has attribute error. Prices DB is here. I create a connection. I'm using a cursor. What? Yeah, this is confusing. Try or Google. Where do I have it open somewhere? Scroll light. Oh, not helping. Go to the library. Scroll light. Am I doing something wrong? Cursor. So this is how you get the cursor. Connection cursor. This not be working all of a sudden. So connection. SQLite 3 connect. Okay, that's the same. And this should be the same. Okay. The cursor is equal to if this runs, it runs. Created the cursor. Huh. That's odd. So I can initiate a cursor like this, but not like this. Bit bizarre. Wasn't this working before? I'm confused. Well, okay, I guess I'm not using with statement. I'm gonna use this, and eventually when it's done, should use try in that case. Try finally. Because the whole point using with is that it's gonna be closed automatically. Like the resource you create with statement automatically manages and closes it. Well, calls close method on it when yeah, the whole section is finished. So I need to do this manually now. Okay. Here form syntax error. Form, what does it mean? Oh, they made a typo? From. I guess I never ran this. Tuple indices must be integers or slices, not string. Price cache. And why I'm not really using tuples, am I? It's a dictionary. For item ID. Actually, it should be empty. Oh no, actually I have one entry, don't I? Call the squirrel SQL. Check what's inside. Because I'm pretty sure I have one entry in the database. The music seems a bit low. Increase the volume just a little bit. Right. Prices connect. Table prices. Content. Yeah, there is one entry. Test ID. What is it complaining about? Oh, I guess when I'm creating item, I'm providing too many values. Right, because now some of the values are optional. The item ID and quality is required. Do I even save quality? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I guess I need the quality field as well. Okay, let's modify the initialization of the database. Perspectives. Database. Yeah, and fields. Oh, I need to add a new field. Quality. I'm thinking, how will I actually use it? Because if I remember correctly, I combine item quality and its ID somewhere. I guess I can do that when it comes to the, like, that's not, yeah, it's just a problem for me in the future. I don't really care enough to check at the moment how it's currently implemented. I just have quality as well. Right, initiate database, so I create a new value field, pretty much. Ugh. Another integer, that, and it's not price, quality. I don't understand autocomplete work. Pretty sure it's quality. Yeah. Just to be sure I didn't make a typo. Yep, good. Let's insert a test record as well. Doesn't. How do I create test records? Guess I just inserted it using SQL. Right. Well, to make it run, and I finally solved the problem which I was on for from the morning. What was the problem? Nice. It's always nice to solve a problem. I guess that's what programming is that's a satisfying thing about programming, solving problems. Price, quality, right. So this will create a table if it doesn't exist. I'm thinking if it's worth just deleting the database or just dropping the table. Drop table. What's the name? Table. prices. Okay, it executed successfully. Now if I take a look, yeah, there are no tables, so if I run this again, create the database, didn't run it. Oh, no such table prices. I'm running this. It creates table. Oh, it initializes prices. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it imports prices, and when importing prices, it loads the cache. That's a bit of an issue. So I can't actually run this independently, unless I change this. Just maybe I should put this in some function. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't call it from here. Call it from runbot. I don't import it here. See, somewhere where I'm done with everything. Create last event ID. Can prices. Update cache. Hey, wait. Load cache. That's what I want to do. I understand why the mapping doesn't want to work. It's very annoying. Well, in any case. Nicely. So this has run successfully, so now there should be a table. Yep. And the table doesn't have any records, so we can quickly insert. Don't remember the insert. How do you actually write insert statement? Insert into, I believe. Name, prices. I tried solving today's Wordle, but got nowhere close. What do you mean? So you used up all 6 guesses? The prices. Have don't provide ID. Open somewhere else. Seems to work. Okay. Table prices. Content. Okay, that's good. Yep, all 6. Wow. That must be a very tough word. So hopefully, well, this evening I will be making, well, not I will be making, my brother will be making a program that helps solving Wordle, so hopefully that works out. Right, insert into prices, timestamp, item ID, price, quality, values, timestamp value, or just any number, because it's actually an integer. Column, oh wait, columns. Yeah, it's just an integer value. Item ID, can be test item string quotes item next price 1000, quality will be 1. Right. Okay, let's just run it. Now such table prices. Okay, it executed, ran correctly, so we have content. There it is. Yeah, so he has one record. Now this has something to load. Oh, I need to change this now. Because item ID and quality are required, the rest are optional. When I create an item, I only use item ID. This will be assigned right away. And quality. Don't use here yet. Right. First. Quality. Here. Well, I want to use item as well, but it's already taken. Stop. Wait, is all of this aligned? Yep, was. Right. Let's call it I. So this will be the item instance. We can actually put into the cache at the end. So I initialize it here, then I set its i.price equal to this. i.id equal to id. And timestamp equal to this. Right. Fetch one later, and now price is cache. Have item ID as the key, and I itself. Right. Not sure if this is more readable, but this should work. Then I get another record, and let's go on. Okay. Load cache. Items from list. This will parse items. Yeah, I guess this is what I actually want to test, and this wasn't some old code that I never ran. Right. Don't think I'm missing anything else. Slice is not a tuple. Indices must be integers or slices, not string. Wait, this is a tuple? Okay, that doesn't make sense. Take a look. Item. The tuple. Cursor fetch one returns a tuple. Okay. I guess that's fine. It's odd that I don't really have Wait, I guess this is just a quirk of SQLite. I haven't used it previously. In what's its name? By MySQL, it actually returns a dictionary. Let's say here. Yeah, so I can actually take its events ID and so on. But SQLite apparently returns a tuple. Well, tuple has less data because you don't really have information about the name of the field. You just get the field values. Because that's a way of optimizing it a little bit. It's fine. So instead of using keys, we just need to use indexes. So first is item ID is test item, so number 3. Second, index number 2. Quality will be the last one, so 4th. Price is is 0. Timestamp is 1. Okay. Rerun this. Okay, now it works fine. Okay. Migration from the database. Okay, let's not that just yet. We can do that. Now let's remove. First, check load latest event, because the last event ID is 0. It reads the value. Right. Actually check if its value is 0. Last event ID read from the file is not the number, use 0 instead. And depending if it's 0, last event ID 0 will not be events. Okay, so I need to set it to 0. So will not try to load all the events. Yeah, so past event. Wait, it's not past events, past event. Wait, I don't really see any past events. Event ID. Okay, it reads a file. Last ID file. Define here last ID. Oh, so this one, okay. Blind. Let's have it here. Oh, when I run it. It doesn't try to load any old IDs. Maybe that's an issue actually. Oh, last ID gets updated. That's good. I can just decrease it by like 100. So it will try to load the last 100 events, last 100 kills. Yeah, now actually it loads some events and tries to use this parse items. Parse cached events. What happened with this? Oh, there was an exception. Key error victim. Wait, so event doesn't have victim? Victim alliance data. Oh, I need to go to data first. Okay. Data. Data is actually just a string. Okay. How's it going? Viras, welcome back. Well, it's, I don't know, slow and steady. Like always. Making progress little by little. Trying to parse out some data. Right. So this is where I actually... Okay, where I do this... Should be using JSON somewhere. Load event data. Ah, okay. JSON load. So this parses the string and creates an object out of it. Okay. Playing with some data, trying to parse it out and make something useful out of it. Right, so event data, the JSON loads and data. That makes sense. Something like that. Now I can use event data. This will be a dictionary of keys and so on. Okay. Well, now I'm doing this twice. Well, I guess I can optimize it later. Combine this, reuse this object already created by, well, by the JSON library or module. Yeah, let's worry about that later. Even though this won't be efficient, but hopefully it's gonna be efficient enough. Right, so... did I get an exception again? I did. The keys object is not callable. Well, I guess I'm doing it wrong. Built function or method object is not iterable. What? Okay, let's restart it and check. Why is it complaining? So event is actually, okay, it's a dictionary. Event data, okay. That's what we actually care about. Event data is a dictionary that has victim. Victim is also a dictionary. Okay. And equipment. Equipment is also a dictionary with all the items. Okay, let's see. Item. Actually, event data. Event data, because it should already know that it's a dictionary. And keys. So this works. It returns a list of keys. So how come it wasn't working with this? A typo here? Stand Like there are any brackets. Oh no, actually. It's for load, this is right. Why didn't this work here? Because this is expects a list. Oh, maybe it tries to call this. Okay, let's go. Let's rename it to something else. Okay, I think it thinks it's a function, so it tries to call it. Yeah, that might be that might cause some problems. Okay, event data. Okay, this time let's step inside and see what happens. Summit update cache. String indices must be an integer. Okay, let's restart. I can get some. Right. See. So item is string. Oh, it's just a string. So list is only the key values. Oh. Right. I thought it will return the full list. Oh, why I'm getting keys? It's not the keys I need items. Items. I think it is items. Or values. Oh, in any case, so soon enough. The values, yeah, exactly. We'll return the list. Okay, this list has some odd values. 1, 1. Oh, because I'm calling the whole event ID, okay. That's fine. So now list item. Actually a dictionary. Which has the type, right? Works. Another exception. Non-type object is not subscriptable. At a pen. Again, the item quality is so this one is fine. Now item is none. So how come it's none? Doesn't list me the actual values. Doesn't really help. Okay, let's copy it because this is just basically a JSON. On file. That. look at the structure. Things about this. Just the beginning. A list doesn't really understand that this is a list. Annoying. Oh, so the first one is an item, then it has non-item. Then there's non-item again. So I guess if you don't have anything equipped, it doesn't even provide a placeholder, it just gives you none. Okay. That's not an issue. We just check for if item. If item. Do this. Basically, if it's none, it will, well, not basically not done this. No, will not do this part. And this should be enough. Run this. Right. And can run debug. Right. So we add on one item. Now the item is none. So this will skip. This item is present. Okay. Guess we can stop. Go to this part. Oh, I guess something went wrong. The event. Victim inventory. Oh, I'm using the old event. Okay, it should be event data. Right, that explains it. Okay, let's go inside. Item is another dictionary. Oh, so item is just none now. So list, oh, this list actually displays correctly, which is nice. So I have 4 items and the rest are none. Okay. Done with this. Turns a value. Parse items. So what this is supposed to do? Oh, I get just the list of items I can operate on. Okay. Right. Okay, I guess I can continue since I have the list of the items. This looks good. Okay, I check database if the entry already exists. So the values I get from the database just push into my price cache. So basically I need to check if they're already here, the price cache. Price cache, item ID is the key. Just create a new function. Check. Database. I pass along items I have. It actually makes sense. Well, the whole point is to check if, well, maybe I don't really need a method, external method, unless I want this to be just a couple of lines. It's fine, I guess. Not really sure what's the right approach here. What's the optimal approach? Yes, any approach works. So might as well just go ahead and do the check here. So if item, I need to iterate over them. So for I in items, do the check if item value. Oh no, I can't define its type here. Ever. Yeah, it is very annoying since I declare its type here, that is list of items. When I'm iterating over that list, it doesn't understand that the contents will be an item, which is a little bit annoying thing about Python. In other languages, because of strict typing, the editor will know for sure that it's an item and will provide like autocomplete options, but not, at least not on Eclipse for Python. Maybe other Python editors are better with that. Alright, the values for is item. So if item ID is in price cache, cache keys. So if it is there, it means it's already in the database and so on. So I just need to check if expired. I just call a method update. Entry. Pass along the item on this line. Doesn't give me an option to create a function. Want to assign anything? I just want to define a new function. Cache entry item. So the updating will work. I guess it works the same. It doesn't really matter if it's in the cache or not. It needs to check. Maybe, well, there is a difference, I guess. Right. Starting to think maybe it's a good idea to use third-party libraries for managing cache. Right. Well, it's not that it's complicated. It's just like pretty much boilerplate code to check if it's outdated and then update it if needed. Except I guess I store it in two places. I store it in the database and in memory dictionary. But this will, well, okay, if we call this, we already know that item exists. We just check if have its type defined here. It's an item. So when I actually reference it, item, get all values. If item timestamp is less than time, get ASCII time, I don't remember. Python get Unix time. I think it's called Unix time. Timestamp. time. Why do I need to convert it to integer? Okay, well, let's try that. Time. I wonder if this will work. And I need to add some constant. So let's see, 3,600 seconds is an hour. And we multiply it by how many hours? 48? 72 hours, let's say, so 3 days. The cache will be valid for 3 days. So if it's older than 3 days, then we actually need to update it. Right. I'm thinking maybe I should construct a very long list of items and make one call to the API, get the prices. Still, it's only one event though. Sure if that's a good approach. Well, I guess I can create it for individual events to begin with, and then I can parse a whole list of events. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, everything is very ad hoc. Right. I feel like I'm gonna fall into the same trap I always do, just because of lack of planning. Right. Cache. So here I check if it's actually outdated, if it's old enough. And if it is, I should probably have another list. Old entries. This will help me. It can be a list. But it doesn't have to be a dictionary. The cache has to be a dictionary and the list is... I don't think I will have duplicates. Can I have duplicates? I can. That'd be an issue though. Would it complain if I added multiple requests for the same item? Say I'm asking for the cape 3 times for the same cape. Oh, it returns 3 times the data. So, yeah. Well, I'm just guessing that this is 3 times the data. It's just more data. If I remove these, exactly look like 2 or 3 times. Oh, so this has different... Wait, these items don't exist. Oh, these are different enchantment levels. Okay, I copied correctly. Let's not have any enchantment. Oh! Have enchantment level. Dumb. Save. Quest. Also, actually, it doesn't report multiple entries if I request multiple instances of the same item. Let's say I add change the enchantment level of this one. So it's 2 times the data. This 4 times. That's good. That's promising. And I really like the response times of this API, like it's really fast. Right. I actually need to go AFK for a bit. I had the thing open. It looks like I closed that window already. Take a look, widget. Can dig through history. And actually used it like 2 days ago, I think. Try to look for Twitch. Twitch countdown, yeah. Right. Be back in 10 minutes. Okay, back. 2 minutes early, even. Oh yeah, I should probably have this full countdown. Yep, have this bookmarked for future use. Right. And the music is really silent. Sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, whatever. In any case. Right, getting back to this. Update cache entry. I started watching a video about Russia and got completely distracted, forgot what I was doing here. Let's see, where's our entry point? Parse items is called by update cache. Right, so update cache gets all the items from this event, checks the database. Guess I'm supposed to check the database. I don't have this function defined anywhere. Right, for each item, update cache entry. Yeah, checking database here doesn't really make sense. I should update the cache, and while I'm updating the cache, I should make sure that whenever I make an update, it's also reflected in the database. So here, the entry is old enough. I do the actual update. I guess I already named it update cache entry. Maybe I should rename this the stage cache update or something. Body here, so plain. Oh, if something. Yeah, let's rename this to stage. So this function will only populate this list of old entries. Right. So if it's old enough, I take this item. Actually, I take old entries and append this item to that list. That's pretty much it. I don't really need to do anything else. So by the end, I update the cache. Yeah, this doesn't seem correct as well, correctly named. Probably check cache, validate cache. Yeah, maybe that's a better way. Validate cache. So first of all, I will be calling validate cache. This doesn't understand that this is linked, referencing the same thing. Okay, let's make it validate cache for each event. I have referencing load cache, so here it initializes the cache, loads it from the database, here it validates. So actually there are a couple of, yeah, it's not only if it's old. Timestamp. Where do I get this item from? Oh, so if the item exists. If it doesn't exist, you automatically add it to the old entries. We do this anyways. for each entry. And you don't even bother checking. Well, I guess this is where we check the cache. If item is in cache, we check page update cache entry. It's not worth having a separate function just to have one line of code, I think. This is just because this is just a check and adding an entry, which I'm doing here anyways. So might as well have and check the time. It's not the item here, it's I. So if item ID is in cache, item has timestamp. Right, timestamp can be undefined. So this could cause an issue. I should just reference price cache, like the entry in the cache. This item ID key. Since item, well, if this check passes, it means there is an entry in the cache, and if it's already in the cache, it should have its time set. What's the name? Timestamp. So it should have this field populated. So I'll just need to make sure to populate all timestamp values when I enter records into the cache, which I currently do when I load from the database. Right. Add another entry. Okay. Is that the every time? That's squid? Doesn't seem right. It is every time. Welcome. This squid, it does look like squid. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to my humble coding stream. And I'm trying to update. Oh, I'm doing alright. Slowly but surely making making some programming content. How about you? What you've been up to? Yeah, too hard to understand for me. Yeah, I guess so. It's not for everyone. Well, I'm actually doing a series with my brother. I'm teaching him programming. We did like 2 streams so far. University, my friend. Ah, that sounds good. Did you actually get into medical school? Medical university? Or you decided to go with something else? All VOMAS? What do you mean VOMAS? I have no idea what do you mean. Oh, it's not, no, Vomax is my cousin. My brother is, yeah, you don't know him. My brother is, yeah, I'm not doing it with my cousin. My cousin is already a developer, like he's writing code and he's coding in Node.js. He's not really interested in Python himself. Yeah, my brother is actually a mechanic. So he works on cars during the day, and now when he comes back from work in the evening, we study Python. Well, I teach him Python little by little. So it is an interesting project. So what did you get into? Like what kind of subject are you studying? Hype as fuck. Oh, we'll see. Actually, we're gonna write a pro. You're back to Albion? You're back to Albion. Psychology. Oh, clinical psychology. Oh, that's cool. Well, clinical psychology is kind of famous. Oh, well, I guess famous in certain circles. You're back to Albion coding? Yeah, I'm actually coding for Albion. Well, people are asking, well, people have been asking for a long time to include prices in the killbot report. I already done a long series where I rewrite. Well, I rewrote the configuration bot. Well, it took me like about a month to actually rewrite this. So when I was done with this, the next project I took on was to actually create an update, to make an update on killbot itself, how it works, because people are asking for prices and so on. Like, there are a bunch of clones of this bot that actually include price of the loot. So just to show an example, yeah, so, well, you know what it is. So other clones, okay, let's see, what did you message? Can I just come in Discord call or not? Sure, you can come, that's no problem. I'm always down to chat. Let's see, what can I actually... join? Hello.
Oh,
Hey.
long time. So I'm on my Mac right now with like AirPods in, and I've heard that they apparently sound AIDS with my AirPods.
Yeah, you don't really sound that great.
Yeah, neither do you, to be honest. But that's just because my headphones are terrible. But whatever.
Okay. So what you been up
Yeah,
to? How's university?
I've been here for since September. So I'm just doing psychology, clinical psychology. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well,
And
Jordan Peterson is famously a
yeah,
clinical
he is,
psychologist. I
I
imagine,
mean,
like,
he's a smart dude when it comes to clinical psychology, but other things is a bit.
well, you know, when you get famous, like, everyone starts taking you apart, and eventually someone finds something that
I mean,
people
like,
might not like.
Yeah, like I've watched all of his lectures on actual psychology, which are all, he's a doctor of clinical psychology. He knows what he's talking about. But then I hear some of his like political views. I'm thinking, like, you're not a politician. Like, why are you acting like that? It annoys me. It does annoy me a little bit. But
Well, I don't even remember when was the last time when I actually listened to his podcast or something. But I really enjoyed his theories. Like, he had really solid ideas on how our society came to be like it is at the moment. So I really liked that series when he was talking about influence of religion and how and so
I
things
agree
like that.
Because I'm doing because I'm only in my first year of university, I have to take like an extra like mini subject. So it's got a minor.
Yeah.
I have to do a minor in well, I don't have to do a minor in anything, but I chose a minor in philosophy. So I'm doing.
Oh, in philosophy, okay.
Yeah, and I do all sorts of stuff with that. But the thing I hate about Jordan Peterson is, man, he just talks in absolutes, and it pisses me off so much. Everything is the most extreme version of the situation. It just annoys me. He just annoys me. But he's a smart guy for sure. He's a very smart guy.
Well,
that's basically what I'm doing.
Maybe because I'm a developer, like a programmer, I always think like, you don't think in averages, you think in edge cases, because edge cases what will break stuff. Like that's like the natural thing you look at first. You don't really look at something that like at an average value or what you would usually expect. You always need to check what will be at the extremes. Where is the end? Where is the start? And make sure that those parts don't break anything. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It is, like, if you look at it like that, I suppose, But at the same time, there are things like it's not developing. You can't develop a human life. It's like philosophy, and everything in philosophy is just middle ground and stuff like that. There's no extremes, and it's just everything extreme in philosophy is just very like cringe, basically. Very like dodgy. You have to look out for.
Yeah, can you give me an example of something like that?
What, of extremities?
Yeah, in philosophy.
In philosophy.
Yeah, something that would be really cringe. Like so extreme that it's cringe. Like,
No, so extreme that it's crazy.
well, because that's
Okay,
what
so-
you're saying.
okay, so yeah,
Everything
yeah,
that's extreme in philosophy basically is cringe.
Yeah, I was saying, so Descartes is a Renaissance philosopher.
Descartes?
Descartes. Yep.
What is that?
You know, so the guy, you know, maths. You know the coordinates x, y, and z. The Cartesian coordinates. Anything called Cartesian is from Descartes. So he was a mathematician and a philosopher who invented coordinates and another. Yeah, he was a genius mathematician, whatever.
Okay.
He also said that, but his philosophy was that you will never know anything is true. There is nothing that your conscious will ever know is 100% true, other than the fact that you exist. Your existence is the only thing you can be sure of, and everything else needs to be deconstructed back to that. And you need to be, and that's it basically. So he's the guy who said, "I think therefore I am," or "I think I am." Yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah. And
So
he basically said that.
So I think this is
Like,
so extreme that it makes it cringe.
There's no benefit of thinking like that. He says this, and there's nothing. You gain nothing. You gain absolutely nothing from thinking like this.
Yeah, that is true.
Everything could be an illusion.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Because it's just an interpretation of your senses. So I guess it's not.
Exactly. Anything on the five senses could be an illusion of a demon. He says it's there could be a big demon that is just controlling everything around you. But what do you gain from this philosophy? There's nothing.
Yeah, that is true. It doesn't really further anything. It just states a fact, and pretty much that's it.
And it's just and he has a full bajillion books on this thing. It's oh man, it's so pointless. It doesn't get. It's so cringe, man. That's cringe. Come on, you've got to admit.
Yeah, well, it's cringe to actually think through that lens, but stating it as being a fact, I don't really see a problem.
Yeah, I agree. Again, but this guy, if he just said, "Yeah, this is the thing," I'll be like, "Okay, yeah, that's fair enough." But then he goes so much into it. It goes into it so much, it's just pointless, man. And he argues with so many different people about it, and everything about that is just.
Okay, that's.
But I'm writing a paper right now on Nietzsche. On Nietzsche, you know him? He's the guy.
On Nietzsche, yeah. Well,
yeah, he invented nihilism. So I'm writing a paper on him right now.
I've heard of him. I don't really know his work and so on because Jordan Peterson keeps referring to him and so on. But I'm not really into psychology myself, so I never put any extra effort to investigate.
He's a smart guy. He's just. Modern philosophy is it's complicated, but yeah, it's cool. He's actually has a point to his philosophy, so I actually like it.
I'd say pretty much everyone that's known in any field of science at this point is a smart guy. You don't really.
Oh yeah, they're all smart guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Way smarter than me, but sometimes he is definitely Nietzsche and stuff like that. These guys are geniuses.
Oh.
More than Jordan Peterson, these guys are proper top dogs.
Well,
yeah, but I'm chilling right now. Yeah, I mean it does make sense. Yeah, to be fair. But I'm chilling right now. I'm just doing uni work, I'm saying, doing a lot of psychology. It's really easy right now. I'm chilling, nothing hard.
Well,
and then
being a freshman is easy in any university. I don't think it doesn't matter which field you go into.
Yeah. So I'm just chilling basically.
So.
Well, I was gonna go into, you were asking me about medicine, weren't you?
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about all that. So basically, I took my the subjects you take before your university are called A levels in England, and you take them to be fit for your university course. So for medicine, you always take biology, chemistry, and maths as your 3 subjects. But I took them thinking I was going to do medicine and then go into psychiatry, which is the psychology of medicine, whatever. And then I did all my medicine qualifications, my exams to get into med school. I did them, passed them, fine. But then I also looked into it further, and I realized I really don't want to do.
Why?
You have to do 7 years of general medicine.
Yeah.
3 years of a medical topic that isn't psychiatry, and then 3 years of psychiatry. So it's like a lot of not what you want to do. So I don't want to do
So basically,
bone medicine, or I don't want to do general medicine. I don't want to do anything like that. Neuroscience. I just want to do psychology. That's all I want. Or psychiatry. That's all I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I like cannot imagine doing that for like 9 years or something. Doing general medicine.
But I thought you still had to do that if you want to be a clinical psychologist.
So no, for this you only need to do 7 years to be a clinical psychologist, and not 13.
Okay.
And for a clinical psychologist, you do 7 years of psychology.
So what's the difference? So the other one would be
So with a psychiatrist,
psychiatry.
There's a psychiatrist and a clinical psychologist. They're very similar, but there's a key difference on the fact that one can medicate.
Medicate, so it can actually prescribe something to you,
yeah,
right?
Prescribe medication, yeah.
And what you're doing, you're basically gonna be a therapist. So basically, someone to come and talk with.
Yeah, I will be doing all of anything that doesn't involve medication. So, like a psychiatrist, you will like if you're for example, if you're a patient who has a mental illness, like okay, just imagine I have depression. I will go to a hospital, a mental hospital or a clinic, and I will have like 20 minutes with a psychiatrist, and they will quickly use the clinical psychologist notes and everything they've said, diagnose or whatever, and give a medication, and then leave. And then that patient will then proceed on to the clinical psychologist. So like the clinical psychologist does the most of the contact work, and the psychiatrist does a lot of just like the individual quick.
Oh, so he just diagnoses the concrete what's wrong with you, prescribes medication, and then you're off to do the consulting, like all the follow-up with
so like
psychologist.
I'll get given a patient that I've said they should probably have this, or they have all these things. Give them this medication, and they'll say, okay, yeah, that's correct. They definitely have that. I'll give them the medication. They come back to me, and then I'll be like, okay, cool, and then I work them through the medication. I work them after the medication, all stuff like that.
Okay, that's
the only thing I don't do, like psychiatrists, is a lot harder to be because there's so few of them, so they have such limited time. So literally, they have like 20 minutes, and they go bang, 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 and then your job is to do like.
Yeah, if you need to do 5 extra years of studying to become one, it makes sense that there are a lot fewer of them.
Yeah, so that's basically the key difference. But other than but in general, you're still helping people like in the same way, in the same field, and you get paid a lot less as well. For me, I get paid like a lot less, but whatever.
Well, I guess if you're really good at your work, like. Doesn't really matter.
No, it's also one of those fields that, like, if you wanted to get money, you'd go into investment banking, wouldn't you? You don't go into medicine or psychology to get paid more, do you?
Well, yeah, usually.
You go into coding, or you go into something like that. You can just invent money. Fucking coding, right? So much money there.
Yeah, you can't say it like that, but you go into coding not because of the money, as well. Like if I'm
sure you could fly to America right now and get a top job at Netflix and be loaded.
I'm considering doing that because all of this like independent development that I'm doing isn't really working out as well as I expected. So I applied to Discord, and Discord didn't reply. So.
No, bro, bro, man, I'm telling you, get into these these companies like Netflix and Apple. All the massive. What are they called?
The big tech companies. Well, I've done IBM, so I kind of know what it's like to be in a big company, and it's not really all that appealing. But if nothing else works out, I eventually just go back to that.
I mean, you've definitely got the skills. I mean, how many years now have you been independently coding? Like
you know that independent coding is like, I've been struggling with many issues, like with sleep issues, like, oh, that was a nightmare to deal with. So
I remember that. Yeah.
and actually your suggestion, you're the one who suggested me trying out weed, and that definitely, like, it just works like magic. Like, I'm really baffled, and I'm really tempted to just leave Lithuania and just go to a country where you can actually
I mean,
get
yeah,
medical
I mean,
weed.
in California, they put, it's legal. I'm pretty sure it's legal in
Oh,
on the West Coast.
it's legal
Yeah.
in the most in most states in the U.S. It's even legal, like medical use of it is legal in some European countries as well. Well, except, well, in Germany, for example, it is
It's not
definitely
it's not
legal.
legal here. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not legal
Yeah.
in UK, but in Germany I don't know the language, so I'm not really considering Germany. But yeah, probably US or Canada, because both have legal medical marijuana. So
Well, have you still got them sleep issues to this day?
yeah. Well, the saving grace is weed. So as long as I have weed, I can sleep properly. I can function. I can, I can program. I can teach my brother, like, all of these things. I can, like, have a functioning brain. Otherwise, like, when you're sleep deprived, like, you can't really do anything. Like, you have, your memory is just absolute crap. My memory is not good to begin with. But yeah, when you're sleep deprived, like, you can't really function. You can't really solve any problems.
Yeah.
So, you
For
know.
sure, yeah. Yeah, my sleep schedule. I mean, I have, like, I get enough sleep, but my sleep schedule is crazy. Like, I will sleep at, like, I went to sleep yesterday at 6 p.m. and I woke up at 12 or at 1 a.m. and I've been up since 1 a.m. Just It's just a whack. I mean, I'm not sleep deprived or anything like you. I just
Yeah.
uni life is just crazy.
So, if it's really lax and really easy for you right now, so what do you do on your free time? Do you do anything else?
Nothing, bro. Like, I other than like
I imagine
like going
there's
out.
quite a lot of reading to be done in psychiatry or psychology.
I mean, like, yeah, but like, I also like, so the biggest, I don't know what the word is. It's not challenge because nothing can, like, literally everything's super easy right now. Like, I've taken I'm not struggling at all, but I have to do like coding. I have to do coding.
Oh.
But it's not coding like you. Like, it's nothing even close.
Yeah, I get people who come on stream and ask me for help.
Do you know our studio? Our studio. It's just called R, like, or R Studio. It's like, but it's not coding in a sense where you code a program. It's coding stats. It's like stats coding.
Stats coding. R Studio. That's
like,
what you said.
Yeah.
R Studio. So just
the letter R and then Studio.
R Studio. I don't think I've heard of it.
It's just data coding. Like, you don't do any like program coding. You just do graphs and stuff like that. I don't know. But basically, all of psychology is using it right now, so I need to learn it, and that's the hardest thing about it. Is learning this. Like you go into psychology thinking you're gonna learn psychology, and then all of a sudden, you've just got to learn how to code some graphs.
Well, you know, modern tools enable a lot of stuff. So in every field you're using.
It's surprising. So it's not something I'm used to at all. So it's surprising, and it's harder than anything else. Not because it is hard, but because I'm not used to it. Like, you could come along and do this in a breeze. It's so easy for you, but I'm not used to it. So it's like I'm used to other things, and then all of a sudden I have to do like 3 hours a week of this fucking coding thing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like lingo. Like, I see XT3, XT2, XT4. So these are just file systems. I'm not even sure why they specify that in TFS. So it supports Windows file systems, Linux file systems. Is that a feature you care about?
Bro, all I know to do is to draw graphs on it. Like, that's all I'm telling you. I can get a table and I can draw graphs on it. That's all I know to do. Yeah, but I also don't. So the thing I don't understand is I can draw all these things with like Excel as well.
Well, yeah. Excel is actually like the whole suite of office tools, like whether it would be Excel or Word. They have a lot of functionality that's like meant for power users, where you can actually write scripts. You can write whole applications in in those programs. So it doesn't surprise me that you can actually do the same thing there. But the issue with that is when you need something specific, like for graphs or something like that, to do something very odd that's not really generic, then you have then you run into issues, and it's not that easy to modify to to convince Microsoft to modify Excel, because it's used all over the world.
So like in the 1% of the situations where you need a crazy graph, you've got this RStudio instead of Excel, but whatever.
Yeah. So.
But apparently all of apparently according to my news, all of the psychology world is using this
Welcome back, Chris.
coding language.
I'm talking with my old friend from Albion days, who's currently actually also a freshman student. So I have one dedicated viewer who always comes back. He's a developer. Well, he's a freshman student in India. He's studying programming as well. So
Yeah, I've met a good few computer science people around here. Like my university has so many computer labs. Like you walk past and it's just computer rooms everywhere.
Oh,
yeah, it's cool.
Computer rooms, like I imagine it's kind of normal these days. But for example, in India, everyone just uses laptops, so they don't really have computer rooms anymore. Because I remember we used to have computer rooms when I was studying university as well. Like you had a bunch of classrooms was just full of computers where you just come along and do your stuff, and you don't really need to bring your own laptop or even have a laptop. Even though I was studying like computer programming.
Yeah, now that I think about it, to be fair, yeah, but when I say computer rooms, these rooms are used, like these computer rooms are used for only computer science, from what I can understand. Because I don't use a computer room, I use a lab, which you have to bring your own laptop.
Okay.
Which is just like tables, but you have to bring your own laptop, or they provide a laptop. But computer rooms do seem to be for actual computer science.
Well, yeah, computer rooms usually have licensed software installed that is used, like for example, designing networks. Like you don't really like there isn't that much software you can download and just use casually as a normal user for free. Usually it's like very specialized and
yeah. So I think most of these computer rooms that I'm thinking of, they definitely they're exclusive to or they're like exclusive like graphic design and stuff like that, you know what I
mean? Yeah, CAD software and so on. So computer aided design. Like
yeah.
I remember that. It's I guess
So my university is like the big things for it are computer science and stuff like that, physics, and then advanced statistics. That's pretty much my university.
Advanced what?
Statistics.
Oh, statistics. Okay. Damn, your microphone is.
Oh, is it actually that bad?
It's actually really bad. It's like you're talking in a can.
Actually, let me pull up your stream because I want to hear what I sound like, because I haven't actually heard what I sound like because
well, no one usually streams.
Yeah. People on my laptop. You remember Data, Avery?
Data, yeah. Oh, how can you forget?
I'm going to see him in Georgia. Okay, one second. I'm going to listen to myself.
You're going to Georgia? Okay. What?
Yeah. Just let me listen to myself first.
Why? Just to meet? No, imagine it's not just to meet Deba.
Oh. One sec, bro. I sound so bad. Okay, so I tried to connect my computer microphone to this computer, this Mac, and it wasn't working. I can't remember why, but I was really drunk at the time. But I haven't actually looked at it again. I might look at it later on. But anyways, I'm going to see Data, bro.
So what are you going for to Georgia?
Just to meet Data, bro.
Just to meet Data. Okay.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, I guess for you it's weird, but after I quit Albion, I started playing League of Legends, and I
Okay.
played League of Legends like solo for a long time, and then Data plays it as well, and then we kind of just like said, oh, we both play it, let's play together. We played
Ah.
together for a bit, and then like that's basically why. So I'm like,
Okay. Okay. So he's like,
I'm good friends with him. Yeah.
yeah, good buddy of yours at the moment. Okay, that's
Mhm.
cool.
I might fly down to Lithuania, or not down, but left to Lithuania,
left. What do you mean?
because Georgia's right of Lithuania, right?
Well, those are quite far apart. If you're going to Georgia, like it's pretty much the same distance from the UK as Lithuania, and Lithuania is
No, where's Lithuania at? Lithuania is like the same height.
as UK.
No, it's Georgia. Let me have a look on the map here. If I'm retarded. Oh no, I've got it wrong here. Yeah, I've got it wrong. Never
Yeah,
mind. My bad.
Lithuania is quite far north. Like,
yeah. So
I'm
Lithuania is near Estonia. Yeah, okay, my bad.
yeah, it's where the action is
I thought
happening
it was.
near near Ukraine.
I thought it was like. Yeah, I thought it was close to like Romania. Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah, well, you know,
Well, it must be cold there, bro.
oh, it is pretty cold. Like I'm looking outside and it's currently snowing, so you know, it's not.
Yeah, we had a big storm in my. Okay, so essentially, where you in Lithuania, you are exactly where I am in UK, like perfectly.
Mhm.
And we had a big storm here, and it ripped all the roofs off houses.
Yeah, I heard that there was a big storm going around Europe, and the weather was quite
Yeah, so-
nasty here, but it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah, so we got hit by a big storm like 3 days ago, and it literally all my university, not all my university, like a few like roofs of my university all got ripped off. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, imagine since England is just a big island, I imagine like stormy weather is not a new thing.
Yeah,
like,
so we're like also you've also got to think that you've got Ireland, UK, Denmark and Scandinavia, and then it's you. For me, it's literally just Ireland and us. Like we're just exposed to the huge sea, so we get hit hard by storms.
whereas
You got a lot of
that storm ripped off the storm of a large supermarket here. Oh, that storm ripped off roof of a large supermarket here. Where are you at, Virus? That's apparently
like,
well.
me on the screen.
Hmm?
Is that a guy on your screen?
Yeah, it's a viewer.
Oh, the guy in India? No way.
No, there's another guy.
Oh,
No,
I was gonna say. No
I
way.
don't have only one viewer. Like sometimes there are other people in Germany, so closest to Dutch border. Okay, so yeah, in Germany, yeah, apparently it was quite nasty as well.
I can imagine. Yeah. I mean,
So-
imagine we great.
Damn.
Das ist nicht gut. I was speaking to some Germans as well.
Speaking to what?
I was speaking to. I'm just pulling up this stream now so I can read the chat. So I don't feel like.
Yeah, there isn't
I don't
that
feel like
much
I'm
activity usually. I usually just people watch when what I'm coding. Maybe, yeah. I think it's a slow stream today. I started streaming like at odd time because I was just overslept. Like, oh, sleeping is so nice now. I'm so great. It feels so great when I can actually go to sleep, get like 7-8 hours of sleep, and just be a functioning person. Like, that's so great. I would hate to lose that.
Yeah, it's good. Like for sure, but you don't want to end up like those people that like just smoke all. Like you don't want to like. Obviously, the example that you will always know is you don't want to end up like Sam.
Well, yeah, Sam is an extreme. Like he's just basically a pothead.
But you want to know, Sam has pretty much stopped smoking altogether. You know?
Well, that's what usually happens. Like people who smoke for a lot of weed, eventually they get to grips and realize that they can't really perform to the level that they would expect. Like and they then eventually they come to conclusion that they need to do something, and yeah, just stopping smoking weed is basically what they have to do. Eventually they realize that. So
Yeah, so I'm meeting up with Sam and Jade again
mm.
in
Well, imagine it's like it's not something you need to fly to meet them. Well,
No,
maybe
no.
you
So we all live in. No. We all live very close to it. Well,
relatively
in the
close.
UK, you don't fly anywhere in the UK. It's not like America. So
Well, I
we're
guess
all meeting.
if you were going to Scotland from the south of England, maybe you would fly there.
I mean, you can like it is, and it's probably better financially, but it's like one of those things that's like it's a lot more stressful to spend like 2 hours in the airport on either side and all these things when you can just like drive there and just get on a train and just like.
Oh yeah,
forget about
trains,
it.
right? That infrastructure should be pretty well developed
Yeah,
in
you
UK.
can get a train from London to like Edinburgh, and no one like literally you just get on, you sit there, and you just chill like 10 hours or 6 hours or whatever. I don't know how long it is. But
Yes,
yeah, so
6 hours is
I'm
reasonable.
meeting up with if you're on the good trains. Yeah, so I'm meeting up with Sam and Jade because I met with them a while back. I don't know if we were playing Albion back then. Can't remember, but I met with them ages ago. So I'm meeting up again in Easter, and I'm also meeting up with Data in summer. So
Oh, it's gonna be in summer.
Yeah, and I'm also going to Jade's and Shane's wedding in summer as well.
Shane and Jade are getting married. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not sure. Has your opinion about Shane changed?
So it's a weird thing about because like, when was the last time you thought of Shane like in Albion? But like, I was talking to Jade about this like I really thought Shane was like a big fucking loser, you know, like in the freak as well.
Well, I'm not.
And,
I
like,
didn't
a
think of
liar.
him as a loser. I thought of him as like pathological liar.
Yeah, but stuff like that. And then but then I like heard him with her on like because they've met up. Shane lives in England now. Like he
moved to England. Okay.
Well, or like for like 6 months or something like that. You know what I mean? So they're together now and have been for a good while. And I've obviously been in comms with Jade like many times when Shane's been in the background, and he sounds a lot more normal when they speak than like when me and you have interacted with Shane. He's been a fucking weirdo, but when they interact, he sounds normal. So I've kind of like,
well, it kind of makes sense that he acted like a weirdo because he started off with a bunch of lies. So if you try to project something that you're not actually like like if you're trying to portray a character, that it makes sense that if you're not used to that, then yeah, it just looks weird.
but also like at the same time, it's like I've also come to understand that I can't do anything about it, so I've just got to
Well, yeah, well, me too. Like, I'm not gonna go and on a crusade trying to prove that he's.
Yeah. So you've just got to accept it. And if he finds that he's a bad person, then he's a bad person. If he actually turns out to be a good person, then he's a good person. And I'm just here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's not our. It's not for
It's
us.
not
Like,
yeah.
get involved, but yeah. I was just wondering if your opinion changed, but yeah, it looks like it changed. So
yeah, I mean
that's
so
good.
I said this. I literally said this. I said to her, I used to think I used to hate him, but like I actually don't mind him now. I would never play games with him or anything like that because he is really cringe. But like he's not. I used to look at him as like bad. I don't look at him as bad anymore. Like actually negative, not a good person sort of thing. But he's all right now, I suppose.
Well, like I still have my doubts. Even though you say he is, well, as long as Jade is happy with him, that's good. But still, it's not someone I would trust. Just because, like, we have a history of lying. Like it was a blatant lie. You didn't own up to it as well. Like so.
It is weird too, though. I don't really want to think about it because it's just one of those like things that it's like. But also, you can always, at the end of the day, you can always hold the fact that it was just a game as well.
Yeah.
You can just say, "Oh, it was just a game." I'm not like that in real life. It's just a game.
Well, yeah, some people might say that, but it's not about the game. it's about your character. So it's about the trust. So like that's how I at least that's at least how I see it. You can by default I trust people. Like I'm a trusting person. Let's say if I meet someone I trust him until if he shows something that violates the trust, like breaks it, then the trust is gone, and like it you will have to go to exceptional lengths to show me that you're actually trustworthy, so to me to trust you again. So basically it's a very fragile thing. I view it as a very fragile thing. Like it's so once you break it, like the trust, like it's very hard to build it up again. And since I didn't interact with him afterwards, like, so basically that's how it stayed, and that's how I see him. It's good to hear that he is actually not. Well,
yeah, he is normal. Well, he's normal in real life. He's like an American in real life, just a normal. You know, everything bad about America, it's in him, but like he's a normal American. He's not a bad American.
I don't really have any idea what it means. Bad American or good American? Like American is
just loud and just American, bro. Like, come on, you know what Americans are.
Yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, they tend to be a little bit more expressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, expressive is a good word. Good word.
Well, it doesn't mean that they are just loud. They just like to talk and.
Yeah, it pretty much does. Especially Americans. Oh, I hope you don't have Americans in Spain.
Okay.
They don't want to hear me talking shit.
Old entries. Okay, I guess I need to go back and check what I was actually doing here. Remind myself.
So you're coding in Python right now?
Yeah, this is Python. I'm trying to figure out a way how to add prices and don't really hammer their API. We have a quote for what you just said. It says, once a string of trust is broken, it stays broken forever. Even if you try to fix it, it gets a knot in its place. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a very reasonable attitude to have.
It's also it's too extremist of an attitude, I believe. It doesn't take into account too much. Like, I agree in its fundamentality, but it's too extreme. Like, to say that there is a,
well,
you know, if someone breaks their trust, and you could never ever fix the fact that they have broken that trust. It's always there, just lingering. They broke their trust. It's always just there. Even if you've forgiven them a lot, it's always still just there.
Well, in theory, yes. It would be nice that it would be something you can undo, but in actuality, you can't. Like, the fact is that you did something that, like.
No, I don't know if you. Am I on comments with the stream? Talking to my boy Risky over here. No, it's a proverb, and I've heard the proverb before, but like.
It's in Hindi, so I can't translate it properly. Well, you can just write it out in Hindi, so.
No, that's what he's talking about. No, I've heard it before as well. I've heard it before.
Yeah. I think in each country they have an equivalent of that idea because it's so prolific. Like everyone just knows.
But I also think it comes more down into it more focusing on extreme breakings of trust, such as like
extremes breaking.
You know. Like cheating, you know, it's like if me and you were in a relationship, if I was to cheat on you, deep down you would always know that I can cheat on you. You know what I mean? Like
well, you actually did, so you know.
Yeah, no, so like it's like I am capable of doing that at all times. You know that.
It's not just that you are capable. That's it's different. Everyone is capable of cheating. Like it's not really something that.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think.
Well, physically, everyone can.
No, everyone can. Everyone can.
Yeah,
can
exactly.
Murder someone.
The fact is that you did. That's the difference. Just because everyone can, and you actually did it.
Yeah, so, I think that's what this proverb is more talking towards, where it's like, if they cheat, if they do something extreme, they can and they possibly will do in the future.
I think
I don't think it's more talking. I don't think it's more about weird. I think Albion and stuff like that is separate. But I'm doing a whole psychology module on online.
I'd say it's more of a spectrum. Like, you can't say that trust only matters when it comes to really serious things.
No. I never said that. I said this specific quote only really holds value in extreme situations. But I agree, yeah.
I don't agree, actually. Like, in everyday situations where you just lie about casual things, like, it matters as well. Because if you get caught lying, well, eventually it comes out as that you lied, for example, then I will know that you actually lied to me. Doesn't matter if it was. It also, of course, you take into account if it was like for your own protection, like what usually is called a white lie, or I just lie just to make it not to make it more complicated than it has to be, or it's a lie just to get an advantage. Like, there are different levels, and there's a whole spectrum of all of these things, but all of them violate your trust in different levels. Like, it's not as bad. Like like I won't refuse talking to you, or if you come asking for help, like I won't refuse you because you at some point you lied about something insignificant. But it still will be like in my memory that I remember that thing happened. So you can't really undo that.
There's also a violation of trust within. There's also separate, like, different levels of violations of your trust. So, for example, I've lied to you many times, every. But I would say you still trust me, in a sense where I would still trust you. You know, like, I've lied to you many times, and if you're in a relationship with a person where they lie about, obviously, say white lie, they don't count. But if you lie about very small things, like, I don't know, like, I cleaned the car, or you didn't clean the car, or things like that, like very small things, it's a violation of your trust, but it has no long-term negative impact. Like, no solid relationship would ever remotely look back on this lie and actually have it affect them in any sort of way. And I don't think, and like I think if you do have that, then you won't have a very long-term relationship. Long-term relationships are all about looking past certain things.
Yes, but you can't say it's the same as not. Well, for example, if you take your example, if your kid says that he cleaned the car, or like you gave him a chore and he says he did it, like yeah, if he lies to you, like, you will have to, like, next time you ask him to do the same thing.
More like that was a bad example. More like, I bought you a Valentine's gift and I forgot, or things like that. Like, it is a negative thing, and you did lie, but you can't let it affect your long-term relationship. Otherwise, you will have no long-term relationship. You can't let it be as the proverb says, a knot. You know, like, you can't have a knot in the rope or the string.
Yeah, I agree with that. You have to be reasonable.
Knots can occur from things like cheating. If you cheat, then it's a knot. Yeah, fair enough. If you I don't know. It's very extreme examples.
Yeah, so yeah, this is an extreme. Well, I guess both are like extreme ends of the same thing. So cheating would be like at the extreme high end, and like saying a white lie or saying a minor lie that doesn't really affect anything.
Why everyone says white lies. Like, it's not. White lies are often not bad things.
I can't remember doing white lies. Like, I just don't believe in white lies myself. Maybe
they're also like very like special needs.
Maybe I am just odd, or maybe I just don't have a family, so as a single guy I don't really feel the need. Like, I don't have the need to do white lies.
I think when you find a missus every time, you'll begin to.
Well, yeah, you know.
Well, Mister every time. I don't know. It could be a Mister. It could be another Mister every time. You could find a Mrs. or a Mister. You know, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess anything is possible these days. Well, I guess any days.
What do you mean? Anything was possible? Anything's possible. You. Bit fruity. Bit fruity from you. No, but you also you need to be getting yourself out there, man.
Need to do what?
you need to get yourself out there.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the crux of why I'm thinking about actually going back to like proper enterprise development, because I would like to do something of my own, build something from the ground up, but you know, seeing the progress I'm making, like it's really slow, and I'm not really like. Eventually, by the time I get something worth doing, like something that actually gives me a decent return on, like a decent earnings, that I can actually support a family from. Like by that time I might be in my 40s, so you know it's a
Yeah,
huge
man,
risk.
also.
It's becoming a very big risk that I.
Yeah. How old are you now? What, 30?
33.
31?
33. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it would be much better for you to go do stuff more social and then go work on your own individual project when you're 45 or something.
Maybe.
You know? I think so. I think you need to. You can't be staying in Lithuania in your garbage little snowy town forever.
Oh, my town is it's my
It's
hometown.
garbage, come on. It's pretty garbage. I mean, I come from a garbage town as well. You know it's garbage.
Okay, I kind of agree with you. Like I can't really argue against that. It is pretty crappy. Like it is. No, okay. I won't go into details, but yeah, it's not a great town.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I know. I come from a fucking garbage town as well.
Yeah, I might argue that. Well, yeah, it is a big thing. I'm currently like that's like rattling in my head. So I gave myself like a month or two. At like last month when I was thinking about it. Maybe not. No, actually, it was at the beginning of this month. So I thought if nothing happens, like no breakthroughs happen, nothing special happens in like a month or two, then yeah, I will just go back to normal development and focus on starting a family, because that's what I actually want. I don't really care about like when I was younger. Yeah, I actually really cared about making my own thing, trying to figure out stuff for myself and so on, like being independent. Per se, but
have you ever used a Mac?
Hmm?
Have you ever used Mac?
Have I ever used Mac? Well, I have not. Like it's not something I needed at any point. So wait, you're having issues. You're looking for tech support. Not what it is.
My finger games.
You sound so odd.
Wait, okay.
It sounds literally like you're talking into a paper cup.
So basically, I've got my headphones plugged in, but they only have the headphone jack plugged in. So like, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, Risk has a Mac. If you have any questions, one of my viewers has a Mac.
And then.
Well, actually, my chat froze up. Stream. That's not good. Having weird issues as well. My Linux.
How do I sound now?
Oh, actual. Okay.
Hey, do I sound decent now?
Yeah, you sound like you're supposed to. Like your normal voice, what I'm used to. Now I can actually tell what you're saying. Like even your intonation is in your voice. I can hear that. It's a lot clearer.
Good.
Right.
Finally. Yeah, it's not very comfortable though, sadly.
Oh, so what are you using? You're using a standalone mic?
Say that again?
Are you using a standalone mic? Like something that plugs into your
Yeah,
laptop?
no, yeah, so I'm using a USB, like, I feel like a reporter. I'm like holding this microphone by my mouth. Yeah. And I've got my headset as well.
Yeah, we just got...
Oh, it's whatever.
Yeah, like Risk says it correctly. We just got from 144p to 4K. Yeah, that's a huge difference in audio.
I mean, I spent like a good 60 quid on this microphone, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, well, it must be nice then. Right.
You sound better as well because I was using AirPods and you sounded AIDS as well. Like, but now I've put my proper headphones in. You just sound like we're just sounds like we're on normal comms.
Yeah, it shouldn't sound all that terrible, at least on Twitch.
No, like AirPods. I don't know what it is about AirPods, but like I was talking to Datebear, I was talking to Jade. It was like everyone sounds AIDS, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just mine, but they just sound terrible.
Are they those wireless AirPods?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, I don't use those.
And it's not any of the new ones either. The old ones, so they're pretty bad.
I guess so. I never use them. I only have wired AirPods, and they seem to work fine. Never had any complaints with them. Well, yeah, as far as I can remember. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I never have any complaints with them, like just using them. But as soon as I got onto Discord, man, so bad. Like I never realized how bad they were. But whatever. It sounds like you're on the phone to someone. Like if you're just calling someone.
I guess that's what they were meant for. Just to be used with your phone.
I mean, they are Bluetooth, I suppose, and they're like the oldest generation of Bluetooth headphones.
Okay,
or
well,
earphones. They're not even headphones. They're like
probably.
they are quite old. And now, like think about it now, they're like what 6 years old or something. Like that?
Yeah, the difference in quality is so big that I'm even taken back. Like takes me a while. I'm just enjoying the sound, the quality of the sound. I don't really have to concentrate on.
Can you get nice and close with them?
This is not better because your microphone is actually peaking. So yeah, it just sounds like you're in the bucket.
You just get AIDS, yeah. Yeah, I don't normally use voice activity either. I normally use push to talk. Which is like you remember how my microphone used to always cut off.
Yeah.
That was because I used to lift my finger up too quickly. But I hate voice activity. But obviously when I'm on a laptop,
yeah,
I've got to do it anyways.
Just more convenient.
Yeah, I've got no mouse to just click on.
Especially when you were back at your. I imagine you live by yourself now, or do you live in?
Yeah,
in a
I
dorm?
live in my own room. Yeah, I live in my own room. I live in like a flat of 4 people. We share a kitchen, but I have my own room and bathroom.
So it's not actually a dorm, or is it a dorm?
No, it's not. It's not a dorm. It's like it's a flat. So literally, the only thing I share is a kitchen.
So
like everything else, I have my own.
And that's all. So your flat has 4 showers?
Yeah. So my flat has 4 showers in each room. Yeah.
So I guess it's just specialized for students, because that's a very odd arrangement.
No, so I live on campus. Like
Oh, it's in campus, so it is like a dorm.
Well,
like a fancy dorm.
I get. I think of a dorm as like sharing a room with someone with like bunk beds and things like that.
Well, you can this is would be the bottom row. Well, for example, when I was studying, I was living in a dorm, and I was living in the cheapest so it was a 5-floor dorm. So top 3 floors, I think, were just where you have one. The shower was shared between all 3 floors, and the kitchen was shared. There were 2 kitchens in each floor, one on one end, one on another end, and toilets were also one on one end of the floor and one on another end.
Yeah,
of the floor.
well, okay, so
it was.
Those are super common. It's like what you're explaining there is super common as well.
Yeah, but that was the basic level. But the first 2 floors were basically like a flat. You go in, there's like a block that has 2 rooms with 2 people in it, and they have a common kitchen. Those 2 rooms will share a kitchen and the shower and the toilet. So they have 4 people share it. And on the cheap dorms, like where I was living initially, we basically the whole floor shares a kitchen and a toilet.
Yeah, so, I guess I'm in dorms then, I suppose.
Well, if it is on campus, it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's meant for housing students, then it is a dorm, pretty much.
Yeah. So I always thought of dorms as like sharing a room with someone and things like that. But no, yeah. So I guess I'm in dorms. Like I have I'm in fancy dorms, I guess.
Yeah, fancy dorm. That's at least that's how I would describe it. But I
Yeah,
guess
so
in
I'm on
India,
campus where like oh, go on.
in India actually they have very odd rules about living on campus because we've been talking about it with Risk, who's from India, and yeah, he's like they can't have food, like they don't have kitchens. They have to go eat at designated like
Yeah, like cafeterias and
yeah
things like that.
cafeterias. So you can't have your own food. Also, you can't have additional hardware, so you can't bring your own monitors. You can't have like your
Really?
PCs. Yeah, so you basically have a laptop and that's it. And you like
So with us, it's like yeah, obviously you have your own kitchen. That's common. Like everyone has that. So you're expected to get your own food. But as for your own hardware, I mean, you're allowed your own like computer and stuff, but you're not allowed any like I don't know what it's called. I don't know what they said it you're allowed, but it's like you're not allowed any like radiators or fans, things like that. You know what I mean? Like electronic devices that would like suck up a lot of energy.
yeah. So no Bitcoin mining on dorm.
Yeah, you could probably get away with it, but nothing like fans, kettles, fridges.
Oh, you can't use the kettle. Electric kettles are not allowed.
No, so like, no. I think kettles might be welcome, but you're not. I know you're not allowed like mini fridges. You're not allowed radiators. You're not allowed big fans. You're not allowed.
So you're not allowed the fridge. So where do you keep your food? Don't have
in
a
the
fridge.
kitchen. The kitchen has a.
Oh, so you use the
like
shared.
Yeah, but you're not allowed like a personal mini fridge.
Yeah, I guess. Well, when you live in a dorm where the whole floor shares one kitchen, yeah, you obviously have fridges in your room. So yeah, it's just a little bit different arrangement.
Yeah, I mean, like, I live on campus where. What are you saying? Like maybe 1,500 students live, 2,000 students live. So it's a lot of people, and it's a massive campus, and there are lots of shops and all sorts of things like that, and restaurants, like you know what I mean, like small food places. But all of like the big place, like the big plaza where all the restaurants are and all the shops are, the roof got ripped off. So there's no roof on any of them. So it's like I have nowhere to go eat right now.
Well, so you have to make your own food now.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Oh.
Save some money, I suppose.
Yeah, well, we didn't really have an option because there weren't places like that around our dorm. There was like a cafeteria in the university itself where you can go and eat lunch, but during the weekends or holidays, obviously you can't go there. No one's working there, and dinner time as well. Basically, cafeteria closes when the classes end, so that wasn't an option. And we didn't really have any big shops. Like you had to go like outside the campus to find all of those facilities. Like if you wanted to go.
I mean, like if you want like the big shops, you can go outside of campus. But like, I live here normally without going outside of campus, like pretty easily. Like, I go to buy bread and like things like that. You get it on campus. But if you wanted to buy like roast beef.
Yeah, it wasn't like that in our dorm. Like in our, maybe it's just how it's arranged. It's a different thing, yeah. Because
also it's not. I'm not just talking about England in general. This is very much my campus. If you went to a different university, it would very much be like a city university where everything was just built in, and you were just on an accommodation, and you were just in the city. You know what I mean? Like.
So you're not actually in the city, or what?
No, I'm like separate, completely separate.
So do you actually need to travel to go to the city, or?
No, I have no reason to travel to the city.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I do.
If you want to go to the city, you actually need to travel to it, or what?
Yeah, I need to get a bus for like 10 minutes into the city. Yeah.
Cool. So it's outside the city limits, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like in a field. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's very unusual. I guess in that case, you need to have shops locally.
Yeah, so like, if I went to like a big city university though, everything's mixed together with the city. So you just go to shops and whatever. It's like normal.
Exactly. So that's how it was in my university. Basically, had dorms next to our faculty. Not sure how it's called.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, like where your where you go for your lessons, and then
Yeah.
and then you're just in the middle of a city, like
Yeah.
completely random
Well,
in the middle of a city.
we were actually next to a zoo, so that took a lot of portion, like the huge portion of it. Like, so basically, there is a zoo, and university faculties were around the zoo, pretty much, and dorms around that, and the city was surrounding all of this. So it was an odd arrangement, but yeah, it was still in the middle of city, and you basically go to you go shopping like a normal person who lives in the city.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
get
exactly.
anything special for
It's
students.
the exact same as like that in England, but in very like there are, I say like 10% of universities like my universities, but they're also like my university is quite like good, so it's like it's like an old university, but so it's
Imagine like all universities in UK are old, have
Yeah.
a long history. Maybe there
So,
are. Yeah, there's no really. Well, I can't imagine there being a huge need to create new universities.
Oh, England has the best further education in the world, like universities. Like America will always tell you Harvard is better and stuff like that, but I can't imagine them. Like Oxford's what, like 600 years old or something like that. It's crazy.
Well, that might be true. I never looked into it. Like, I don't really care which universities, but because like the local Lithuanian universities are like they don't compare themselves to the best universities in the world, even though like some universities might get into top 100. But usually it's not. There's no emphasis on that.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand like you can't really compare. It's normally America or England that compare themselves. It's basically they compare themselves with each other, and if you look in the top 100 universities, it'll be 99% England and America, and then you'll have like one German, one French. It's like
Yeah.
it is quite cringe, to be fair, because I'm sure there are more universities in these other countries that are better.
I don't think the
A lot of the
universities
time-
care all that much as well. Like, if you
lot-
really want to compete for the, well, yeah, as you said, it's America and UK that actually put effort into that, I think.
Yeah, realistically, it is. Yeah. I mean, my university is in the top 10 in England.
Because keep one thing in mind, because English and England and United States share the same language, so it makes sense for them to compete for the students because studying the same language. For German university, like German university, like
Yeah, how many English speaking students are they gonna get? Not very many.
yeah, even then you get all the lecturers, they speak German, like they all native Germans themselves, so there's no
Well,
point competing with American universities.
I think a big one is China. Like, if you look in the top 100 universities, there's essentially no Chinese universities, and I bet you, I don't even know. I bet you anything that realistically in China they have some of the best universities in the world, especially
I
China
really
and Japan.
doubt that.
Oh, I like some of these universities in Beijing, these top universities. They've got 1.5 billion people. I'm sure they have some good unis.
They have a very broken system though, in which those unis have to exist, and you can't discount that. Like, communism is such a cancer.
Yeah, but it also doesn't stop Chinese, like 1.5 billion Chinese lecturers, potential people to be lecturers. It doesn't, just because they have a broken system doesn't stop them from finding these, gems of teachers.
You would think so, but actually having like everything driven by communist ideology, like it degrades everything like so much. You have no idea. Like, everything has to be portrayed through the prism of communism. Everything has to be made sure that doesn't conflict with the government's narrative.
I don't know if universities like that though. Universities are like
Universities in China are actually like that. So,
Because you remember, what was it? The massacre of what was it called? Massacre of what's the old?
Tiananmen Square? Or are you talking about
yeah.
Nanjing massacre?
Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
They were all university students, weren't they?
Yeah, tens of thousands of university students were shot to death by Chinese government.
They had a different ideology thanks to having a different ideology from the union.
Yeah, and that's a big reason why it's so clamped down now in China.
You would say that they changed it, to clamp down now, or would you say it's the same?
No, it's a
people
lot
about it.
tougher. It's a lot tougher now. Like they make sure that second Tiananmen Square won't happen. That's why it's so clamped down and everything is portrayed. Everything is very tightly regulated. That everything is like there are no free thinkers in university. Though there are no lectures that give students any idea about like having questioning government authority or questioning communism. Ask your friend. Okay, Risk asks, ask your friend, should I start playing League of Legends? Is it beginner friendly? I would say don't bother with that.
No, I mean, okay, so I played League of Legends for, when did I quit League? Albion. After I quit Albion, I played HOTS with Jade for a little bit, like 6 months, and after that, so I played League for about 6 months. I got to Platinum in League in about 6 months, and I mean it wasn't like I wasn't grinding or anything. I was playing like super chill, and then I quit because it was like really boring. Like the game doesn't really change. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's the issue about. Well, I wouldn't consider playing League of Legends because if you like to be challenged mechanically and just grinding, like learning the same mechanics, like learning the same movements and stuff like that, then maybe you will find enjoyment in League of Legends.
Completely agree with that one. So I used to play Dota before I played Albion.
Yeah.
And Dota is the big difference between Dota and League is Dota is very, very macro. It's very like you're thinking about what you're doing. You're thinking, should I be here or should I be there? And the way you improve is being in the best place at the best time. With League, it is clicking the best button faster. Like it's like
timing it correctly.
Core mechanics.
Yeah, reacting.
And all those things like
so
things like that. It's like proper mechanics, team fight positioning, things like that. But there's like very little macro involved. There's no macro involved. Like unless you're jungle, there's basically no macro. It's like
you sit your lane and you're playing against an opponent on your lane and it's trying.
Unlike Dota, which is very, very macro heavy, which is a lot more fun for me. But if you like mechanics, then play League. It's not beginner friendly, but no MOBA is like. But it's not beginner friendly. For me, I've played like 4 MOBAs in my whole life. Like I've played 4 MOBAs, which is a lot more than most people. So I can go to a new MOBA and play it well. I can learn fast. And it's the same like.
Always a MOBA, like The principles are the same.
You can go to a first-person shooter, and if you have good aim, you'll be good at it. like skills transfer. So if you've never played a MOBA before, it's hard.
I don't have much choice because I have a Mac. Yeah, gaming on Mac is.
Well, basically, just don't play on a Mac. I'm just gonna give you that.
Yeah, just study. Don't think about.
Yeah, just forget about gaming.
Yeah, find a streamer and watch some streamer play games
and just get a girlfriend or something, bro. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like Macs suck. I've got a Mac right in front of me right now, and I would never once play a game on it. It's like it's so slow right now. Like
it's not meant for that either. It's built for like productivity and surfing internet and pretty much that's it.
I haven't played on my PC, like gaming PC, in like 5 months now. Literally haven't played anything at all.
Do you inhabit in your dorm or?
Yeah, I do. It's not even set up though. It's like it's just sitting there with all the cables lying there.
Okay.
My keyboard's not plugged in, but then I've got like my microphone and my headset plugged into this Mac.
Oh. Well, if you don't feel the need, then that's great. You don't waste time with gaming. Well, I guess when you're studying ecology, that's right. Psychiatry is the actual doctor, and ecology is the consulting, the speak one, the one you speak with, right? So when you're studying psychology, you have so much stuff to read because there's a long history, of this field that's been developed with said Nietzsche and it's the only one I remember, but I imagine there's a whole pool of great thinkers that developed this field. So just getting familiarized with that is just a huge task by itself. So what do you actually do in the university? Like, so how do they introduce you to this field?
So, in a week, I'll have 5 hours of lectures.
Yeah, that doesn't sound that much.
So, and it's like 5 hours of, 1 hour, like pretty much 1 hour a day. You go there, you sit there for an hour, and you just take notes from a guy that's talking, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have 2, 4, 6, 9 hours of labs, and they're called labs, but they're not really a lab. It's more like it's a computer lab. So you bring your own laptop, and it's like discussions and things like that, like working through things. You know what I mean? Like seminars.
Well, when we were talking, like what we called the labs was just it just meant you're doing practical work. You're not studying theory. You're actually putting it into practice. Yeah, so that's what it was.
Yeah, it is like that. But for me, because I'm first year, practical work with psychology doesn't exist. There's no such thing as first year practical work. You're not gonna.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you can't with such limited knowledge go and be a therapist for a person. So it's all about it's just more theory, basically. But, it's like you're in a group and you're learning your own theory in a group, sort of things like that.
Oh, I would imagine it would be like problem solving, like a lecture gives you a problem and then you, as a group, try to solve it. Like that would be.
It's all sorts of things. Like I can't even go into it. Like you get given scenarios and then you need to figure out what they are. Okay. You've got note taking. You've got video watching. It's so many different things, but basically that's what it is.
And then, so these are labs. So yeah, but still, it is putting your theory that you learned in like during lectures or reading books.
You also get like for my first year, you also get taught quite a lot in that as well. It's also a lot of new stuff as well. It's almost like a lot of that is lectures as well.
Well, I don't expect that to change. So no, you will be learning new things all the way through because that's what university is for.
Yeah, and then I have another 2 hours a week on like seminars, which are like an hour with your lecturer or whoever, your teacher, and you were just asking questions. Like you just ask questions.
So like a discussion time.
Yeah. You just literally they sit there at the front of the room and they go, "What do you want to talk about?"
I would imagine seminar something different. I would imagine seminar is something where like expert from a field gets invited to give a talk on a subject.
I mean, they happen like they're like talks, but no, that's no, like a seminar is just you either get like a doctor, like an expert you get an expert in your university, so like a researcher, a lecturer, or just like a teacher, and you just sit down with them for an hour, and you just ask them questions. And like there's only like 10 of you, so you've got an hour, so you got 2 hours a week, so you have a long time.
Then realistically, it's still quite a lot. Well, yeah.
So my lecture halls consist of like 400 people, so it's like.
Well, yeah, it's a significant downsize from that, but still, if 10 people are asking questions, if they have 1 hour per week to ask questions, like I'd still imagine like it's not enough time.
Yeah, so it's like 2 hours per week, and I've never, so it's like 2 individual sessions, but I've never once felt like there was not enough time. Like, like if I would ask a question, a lot of people would go, that basically answers my question, sort of thing. Because it's always questions relevant to your topic. It's never like crazy new questions that they would answer.
Oh yeah, I guess Well, it's kind of sad then, if you can't go like on a tangent like.
No, like, but realistically, you can't go on a tangent, can you? Like, you can't just go wild and asking them. Like, I mean, I hate what I'm doing right now in psychology. I hate it so much. I'm doing cognitive psychology, which is like
I was about to ask what it actually
which is like the brain, how the brain does stuff subconsciously, everything you don't think about. So language, how do you process language? How do you problem solve? All these things that you just don't think about at all. So just automatic. That's cognitive psychology. And I hate it. I hate it so much.
Why do you hate it? It sounds like
It's so
really
boring,
fascinating. Okay,
So-
what makes
no,
it so
so-
boring?
So there's a huge difference between the ideas, which are cool. Oh yeah, that's how the brain problem solves. Okay, cool. But then like, do you want to know? I had to write last weekend a 1,500 word essay on how the brain breaks up a sentence. So I will read you a sentence. Okay, so listen to this sentence. The man watches the child play with the binoculars. Okay, so how would you process that sentence? Do you process that sentence with the man has the binoculars, or does the child have the binoculars, and things like that? Everything about that, the verb, the noun phrase, the verb phrase, your brain automatically processes all of that. And I had to do a full paper on that, and it's so boring. That's what's boring about it.
Well, when you know the theory, I imagine it is boring, but when you don't know, like for me, who doesn't know pretty much nothing about psychology, it still sounds fascinating. Like I could talk about that subject. Like I'm kind of like my instinct is to go deeper and start asking questions. Like, well, like why would you pick a sentence that doesn't have a very descriptive meaning?
So
like it has dual meaning.
Verbs. Yeah, so like certain noun phrases and verbs have are connected. So like in certain situations, for example, the word book, the verb, like, if a book was to leave your hands, in the majority of situations, you would always use the word put, without thinking about it. You like if you were to play, like say, the book would leave my hands to the table, you would always say put.
Yeah.
You would always just say put. I put the books on the table. You would never say I fumbled the books on it. Things like that. It's like,
or dropped.
How is that interesting? But you would always do it. Like you don't think about it at all. It's something you would never think about, but you do. So for example, another one. The chef poked the pastry. The chef poked the pastry with the fork, or the chef poked the pastry with the flaky crust. So one talks about the verb phrase, which is with the fork. The chef is using a fork to poke the pastry, and one is the chef is poking the pastry, and that pastry has a flaky crust.
Yeah.
Why and when would you decide which is more likely and which is more common?
Which is more likely, which is more common? Well,
yeah. So which sounds exactly. So you would poke with a fork when there is a single pastry. If there's one pastry by itself, you would say that the poking with the fork is more common and more likely and more reasonable. And then if there's more than one pastry, the descriptor that specifies
it makes sense,
pastry,
to specify which pastry you're actually
but it's
poking.
like things like that, that when you say it in one sentence, okay, but you have to write a full paper on that, bro. Like, and all the evidence and all the stats on it, bro. Like, these guys have.
But that's
like,
what learning is about.
It's like, bro.
I don't think it will get any better than this. Like,
No, but I love stuff. So I did like other things, and I love stuff. So clinical psychology is working with people with mental illness. That's pretty much what it is. And I love stuff like that. I just don't love anything that isn't that. Like, it's just
but
too boring, bro.
Yeah, but to have the baseline of knowledge to work with patients who have mental illness, you need to understand how what is considered normal functioning brain, like how it functions normally.
No, like I completely agree. Like I'm not arguing with the system. It's just I just don't like it, and I know I have to just get through it. It's one of those things like
it's not just you have to get through it. You actually need to know that.
I
to
need
absorb
to
that knowledge.
But I want to peak in clinical. It's very similar to when I was talking to about psychiatry, when I didn't want to do all the medicine beforehand. I don't want to do all the crap psychology beforehand either, but it's a lot less time. So I'm just said, okay, I'll do this instead. And I don't like it, but I know it's important. I know I need to do it, but whatever. I don't like it, so I just want to get through it as fast as possible.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
And I mean, it's so
It's not unreasonable point of view.
I mean, I start doing all the cool stuff next year. So basically, I've just got to get through this crap first year, and then
Yeah.
after that's cool. Then I start doing the juicy stuff.
I guess programming is well, it has some similarities and there are some differences, like key differences. Like for example, with programming, you just like for example, I'm teaching my brother how to write programs in Python. Like he has no prior knowledge of programming. Like he doesn't really know. I like yesterday, like we did 2 streams. So on first stream, I was teaching teaching him stuff like what is a variable, how to assign a value,
Yeah,
making a
I've done that before. Yeah.
yeah. So these very basic things. That's what I was teaching him, and only did 2 streams for like 2 hours each, 2.5 hours. So not very long time. And today we're gonna be implementing, well, writing an actual application that actually does stuff. So, do you know Wordle? Well, I imagine you know what Wordle is.
Yeah, I play it all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I got introduced to that. So we're gonna be making a program that helps you solve Wordle, because I always struggle to find 5-letter words, even though.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Well, you know, English is not my first language, so.
Oh, come on, but it's not good enough excuse at all. I won't accept that.
But it
It's not a
is.
good enough excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an excuse though. But yeah, go on.
Well, it's not that I can't figure it out. It just takes me extra effort. It's not like I don't have words associated with number of letters. It's just not something you at least I do when I was learning English.
Wordle is like you need to learn how to play Wordle. It's not, you don't need to learn 5-letter words. You need to learn how to play Wordle, and it's like you need to learn the common words that take up a lot of letters, sort of thing. That's whatever. Like you need to learn words like.
If you really care about
like
having a good score and so on.
Yeah, which has all like 4 of the 5 vowels in and things like that.
Jew?
Like, a Jew, so.
A Jew? Oh, so it's like a saying.
That word there that I've just sent you there, a Jew, is a word in English which has 4 of the 5 vowels in.
Yeah.
And you're bound to get, at least something with that word.
Yeah, but.
But you like things like that. It's just boring if you play it like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't really put any effort in like devising a strategy, picking out the correct words.
Yeah, I never do that.
I approach it with like blank mind and just try to figure out.
Yeah, I just put. If I can remember what the word was from last week or last day, I'll use that. If I can't, I'll just use a random word.
Yeah. So that's what I usually struggle with. I'm sitting and looking at them, trying to figure out what word do I know, because I don't want to use the same letter. So I guess a word, and then I try to piece another word from the letters I haven't used yet. Well, that's where I struggle. I'm not sure. It's such a.
Sometimes the most time I struggle is because it got bought by New York Times, which is like a newspaper sort of thing, and they changed all the words, and like sometimes now the words that they use I've never ever in my whole life used at all. Like there's some 5-letter words that I've used that I've never once used. Like the word tactic, with a T, was used like this. Tactic. I've never used that word in my life.
I don't even know what it means.
Neither do I. I don't know what it means now. I searched it up before. I can't remember what it means.
Okay.
But like that word was one of the words, and I thought like, yeah, okay, cool. Okay.
Well, I guess if you what was it? Was not. Who bought Wordle?
New York Times.
New York Times.
Yeah. So they use like hard words now. They're just from the dictionary.
Yeah, I guess.
The original creator of Wordle had his wife pick all the words for Wordle. Basically, he gave his wife all the words, and she picked them for him. Basically, I don't know if you heard the interview. So she picked words basically everyone knows. If she knows them, everyone knows them, sort of thing. And then Wordle changed that to just any 5-letter word, and now you've got like random 5-letter words that have just sprung out of nowhere. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, apparently today's word is quite tough because Risk couldn't guess it in 6 tries. So
I don't know. I mean, I'm probably the best Wordle player in the world, so.
Yeah, but don't spoil it for me because
no, of course.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not a new Wordle player. I would never spoil the word.
Oh, okay, this. I'm a new Wordle player. I'm not sure what's the etiquette here when
Yeah,
playing this game.
you never spoil the current word. I think I might have worked it out before, anyways. I can't remember. Oh, I did.
Worked it out before? What do you mean?
I worked it out earlier today.
Okay.
I've been up since like 1 a.m. So like I worked it out like before. Yeah.
All right, first 1 a.m. Damn. So you're pretty much like it's like a late evening for you already.
Yeah. So I went to bed yesterday at 6 p.m. Sorry. Slept until like 1 p.m. 1 a.m. like in the night. And
It used to be reversed. I used to go to bed like in 6 a.m.
Yeah, so I did used to. Well, I say I did used to. I still do. It's just that I was spending all night. Like this last weekend, I've been up all night doing my assignments. So now I'm like, my schedule's weird.
I guess it's a good time because no one's...
Basically, what's happened is I've gone from normal time to nocturnal to almost normal time again. So for a few more days, it will fix itself.
Right. Well, I'm trying to figure out if it was like shifting the same way all the time, or swinging back and forth like your time when you go to sleep.
Yeah, basically every single night I go to sleep, it moves like 30 minutes forward.
Ah, okay.
So like I'll go to sleep, at 10 a.m. and then 10:30, then 11, and eventually it will go fully 24 hours, and that's pretty much.
That sounds bizarre. Why would you do it like that?
No, I don't know. Not a choice. I'm just cool. I'm really cool. Yeah, I remember what the word was for Wordle. Yeah, it is a hard word actually. I did struggle on this word. Yeah.
Okay.
It took me a while.
So it's one of those more fancy words, I assume.
No. It's a word you've heard before.
Ah.
Okay. I don't want to give you a hint, but it's like one of those words where there's like one letter which could be loads of different things. You know what I mean? Like
I don't
like
really know, but I don't really care.
It's like 4 letters, and then that one letter could be just loads of different things. So you need to like make sure.
Well,
I don't know. What's an example?
H would come to mind. H could be.
No. So like a letter, like a word.
Well, I don't really need any hints.
Yeah,
I don't really.
I think you will need a hint.
We will write an application that helps come up with 5-letter words, and maybe we'll improve it. I will see how it goes. But basically, the point I was going for is that we only did like 4 hours of studying, quote unquote, when I was explaining like basic concepts, and he is knowledgeable enough to create a program that can read, like basically take any text document, doesn't matter what kind of document, parse it out, pick out all 5-letter words, and then put them in a list where you don't have any duplicates and so on, and then you can filter that list based on what letters you actually have for that word and so on. So he can do all of that just having very little like training.
Yeah, so for my back when I was in school, do you know Visual Basic?
Yeah.
Or Visual Studios or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know. So I used that programming language alongside Python to make a like a cinema app. So basically, you would put one movie you wanted in, how many people you wanted it for, what seats did you want, and then what time, and then it would like make sure that you didn't have another seat like with another person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my big project at the end of the year, like 5 years ago now. That's all I know about programming. After that, I completely forgot everything.
Yeah, well, it's, like
all I know is what a variable is, what a script. No, what's it called when it's like green in Python?
In a function.
Yeah, it's like
comment,
string. Like a string. There we go, string. Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, basically that's pretty much how much. Well, I taught him basic functions, built-in functions in Python that lets you open a file, lets you take input from the user, and that's like from the console. So nothing really like all that interesting or complex. So just very basic things, but he seems to be taking it well, so I'm really happy about that.
I mean, it's a super good skill to learn. Like, probably, I don't think there's any skill more valuable currently than well, other than like, you know, fucking brain surgery that like is coding. Like, knowing how to code is just.
I don't see it that way. I think everyone like. I was saying this for quite a while, that programming is like literacy in the Middle Ages. Like these days, well, like it's becoming more and more common that you start, like people start learning programming, but still currently it's like, it's not all that common. Like your casual person doesn't know how to write a line of code or write a script.
I don't think that will. I understand where you're coming from, but I cannot imagine a world where coding is required for daily life. Like, I can't imagine the time when I would need to ever code something to get something, and that's why coding is valuable. Other than literacy, reading and writing, you need it for everyday life. I'm not going to go to the shop. If I go to the shop, I need to know how to read and write, but I will never need to know how to code. Even in the world of computers, where everything is online, I still can't imagine you need to read and write. Oh, you need to code, sorry.
Yeah, but you know, there was a point in time in the past where you didn't actually need to know, well, how to read or write.
How to write, yeah. So, but I can't. I can agree with that one, but I can't imagine. Just can't imagine a world where you need to code.
Okay, so let's do a thought experiment. Could you imagining this current situation where you actually need you are required to be able to read and write to successfully like purchase something at a shop? Could you imagine that, like this situation in the Middle Ages when you couldn't read or write yourself, and you didn't really need it for any transactions?
So that's also the interesting fact about this sort of experiment, is the fact that back in that day, the way technology progressed was immensely slow. There was no progression of technology. There was literally no progression of technology back in those times. But the current times we're in, the progression of technology is so fast that we are so aware of where we will be. Like, we have such a high expectation of where we will be in 50 years. In 50 years, none of us are going to expecting each other to just still be on laptops. In 50 years, we are expecting each other to be something else, so much further in the future, you know, like so much more technologically advanced. And I can't imagine, even in that immensely more advanced future, that we will need to code. Unlike the Middle Ages, where nothing advances around us at all. Nothing ever advanced, and nothing ever will advance for a good 500 years either way. Nowadays, in 20 years, you've gone from awful televisions and dial-up internet to 5G, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the progress of the speed of progress, it's changed a lot.
Like, so like the speed of progress is so fast that I using the speed of progress, I still can't imagine that I will ever need to use code for a daily life. It will be super important for other things, not for daily life though. And that's why I think coding is like the most important skill to have right now. Like, if you know how to code, you'll be making so much money for so many years. Like, if you went to America right now with the coding experience you had, I bet you will be making hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Maybe. Oh. Yeah, that's maybe I will. I guess the time will show.
Do it.
I'm kind of leaning to that as well, but
I mean, even if you hate it, like, it's only a few years, and then you'll just have more money than you want, and you can go do your own thing again. Because I think you've got interesting experience where you've got the education in like a company, which was IBM, but you've also got individual experience, which has also proved to be valuable. You know, like, you've made money from it. It's not like useless.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure you'll have.
I have more than 7,000 users that actually used my bot. Like, created, at least interacted with my configuration bot, which was just purely meant for setting up instances of my killbot or battlebot. So more than 7,000 users actually did that.
Yeah, so I'm sure you'll find a company that will snap you right up. And
Well-
you just need to get there soon. Get there soon. How old are you now? 33. You need to get there now, so you can make some money and you find a woman. That's what you need.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Well, I need to start a family because that's what I actually want. That's the ultimate goal: is to have a family.
Oh, it's not the ultimate goal.
I'd
It's
say it
like,
is.
starting
like-
a family.
it's
yeah,
like-
starting a family involves also having a wife. It doesn't just involve the children.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Well, the children is the important part, I would say. Like, at least for me personally, that's how I see it. Like, the kids
I
is.
think the children is the most important part for every family, but you need to also find that first bit, that first piece of the puzzle.
Sorry, give me a second. Hello, Lord Albert. Are you doing game hacking? I'm not really doing any game hacking. I'm just writing like auxiliary applications that are somewhat related to gaming. So basically, bots for Discord. Okay, so so yeah, I'm not usually doing game hacking. I'm considering doing maybe some. Well, I would like to go away from, well, move away from writing Python and maybe get back to Java. And one very easy thing, or very common thing, or very interesting thing I'm considering doing is writing some plugin for Minecraft, because that's all Java. And yeah, I think that would be an interesting project to do. At least, yeah, since I have quite a Java is for gays. Well, what's so what language do you think is better than Java? Well, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not gonna argue with it. Not really sure. So I imagine, well, if you don't like Java, you probably like C#, because those are basically the two options. It's either Java or C#. Everything. But Java is, oh, it has its upsides. Like, it is more open than other technologies, like other languages. You have a bunch of free frameworks you can use and so on. Like, if you take C#, like, no, it's all Microsoft. Well, you know, it has its upsides. It's more structured. C# all the way, yeah. Oh, yeah, I actually understand. Like, when I first started off as a developer, I thought I will be C# developer, but just a job coding in Java came along, and that's how I became Java developer. But I don't really see a big difference. Like, they both do the same thing. Just with C# you have a more structured learning path, so you just take books from Microsoft and just read one book after another, and you get certified by Microsoft, and yeah, that's how you become a a qualified Java developer. Oh, also got to go. Your stream is 1080p. It's burning my limited data. Try to put option lower quality on stream. Well, I can't because I don't really have enough followers to do that. So you need to be an affiliate if you want to have different quality options. So for small streamers like that, there's no option. You basically stream at source quality, which is 1080p, because I want people to be able to read text. Right. Well, I guess Squid is not back yet, and it's actually 3. Yeah, it's almost 3 here.
Well, I'm here. I was just listening to this. I'm walking now. I don't know if it's too windy.
Oh, you're outside?
Yeah,
Oh, where are you going?
to the shops.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
going to the shop.
Is that Gage still there that was talking to you about the 1080p stream?
1080p? Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure
Right, well,
he's still here. Probably not, if he said he has to go because it's burning through his data cap or something.
Why is he coming to a coding stream?
it isn't 1080p. Like how else can you actually read the code? I don't know, like weird
Well,
coded.
sorry, he just messaged what? Twitch is trash then. That's wrong. Well, I agree. Twitch is not great, especially now when Amazon bought it.
Twitch is garbage, yeah.
Yeah, Twitch is not, but Twitch is the platform that has all the users. Actually, I stream both to Twitch and YouTube at the same time because YouTube actually lets you preserve the recordings for infinite amount of time, and Twitch deletes them after a week. And when you get an affiliate, you can preserve them up to a month, and when you get a partnership, then you can preserve them for a couple of months, I think. I'm not really sure.
No, you can preserve it for longer than that if you're a partner, but the thing with Twitch is like they have so much like censorship shit and stuff, like garbage like that. They like will ban you for anything and it's cringe. YouTube you can like do stuff.
Yeah, maybe. But YouTube doesn't really have the exposure you get on Twitch because people find your stream a lot easier on Twitch.
Well, I don't know if they can find your stream on
well, someone does from time to time on YouTube, but yeah, it's not that. Well, I'm not I'm not a popular streamer or anything, so it's kind of understandable.
It's hard to find exposure anywhere, to be honest. I think, but YouTube doesn't censor you anything. Like, they don't ruin all your content. Because you see like people like Tyler One that won't swear anymore and stuff like that. It's like, oh.
I never watched Tyler. I was aware of him, but you know, it's not something that appeals to me. So I don't find his streams entertaining. So I never actually watch him.
Just you remember how YouTube went from like being a proper video platform to just like censoring everyone and stopping you from like making any good content at all. And then Twitch is going down that same sort of route of censoring everything but bikini streams, which is kind of cringe.
Yeah, well, I think they were both doing this the same thing, but in a different way at the same time, and that's now it's just coming to the same like final form eventually, where everything is because Twitch was.
Right.
I don't remember. First, it started with alcohol and stuff like that, so you can't consume alcohol at the beginning in Twitch. And on YouTube, it was like fake news and so on, that they were cracking down on that. But that's how it started on like different platforms. But yeah, the final result is everything is heavily censored and sanitized and so on. Which it's their platform. They do what they want with it.
That'll affect you though, really. But even still, it's still very, very homosexual. I'm going into a shop 1 sec, so you want to hear me for a bit?
Okay. Right. This is kind of interesting. Studying psychology. Yeah. For some reason I thought that, well, okay, whatever, I thought you were going to study medicine, like proper medicine, become like a proper doctor or something. But yeah, maybe I'm just misremembering stuff.
Proper doctor, it hurts my feelings when you say that.
Well, not that, yeah, psychologists are not proper doctors, like, what I mean, like a doctor, like...
I know what you mean, yeah.
Like the one that does operations and stuff like that. Surgeries, I mean.
Yeah, no, like that's what I was originally going to do, but it's so boring to do stuff like anything to do with anything really. We're talking like bones, organs, stuff like that. Nothing interesting at all.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
And it's not like you have to do that. I mean, it's not just doing that for like
I think you're cutting off quite a bit. What can I commit? Okay, I don't want to commit longs. Move that. What's the idea? Do I actually care about it? Committed. Process. Prices.
One
that. this I don't care about it. Let's add it to ignore. And track. Good. Add it to ignore. Looking good. Wow, that's loud.
Well, am I loud?
No, someone's shouting next to you, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere close.
Yeah, you know them self-checkout services.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys like shouting at people to like go to each checkout.
Okay.
Just
well,
cringe, dumb people getting shouted at to have to do their basic tasks. It's
interesting.
unreal.
Well, if it's a... Yeah. But I imagine it's just... well, yeah, if it's just a campus, so you only get students shopping there, right?
Oh, bro, you have no idea how stupid some people be. Like, you know, self-checkout. Obviously, you have them in this point. I know your country's
Yeah.
terrible, but
Well, I
purely.
have them in
yeah.
our, like, crappy town. We have those, so, you know, it's not...
Yeah. So you have self-checkout, and you have like 4 of them,
Mhm.
and then some uni students are going to do law, going to do medicine, getting stuck with how to use a fucking self-checkout. They get confused or they crash one or stuff like that. I'm thinking, bloody hell, like, how I've never once done that in my whole life. They're so easy to use, and then I've got like people waving people over. Oh, something's wrong with mine. I'm thinking, fuck me, like, you're a student at university and you can't even use a self-checkout.
I think they should lay off the weed. Because that sounds like a problem that might cause that. Just looking at thing and just can't read. Like you, if it has an instruction that's longer than 5 words and at the end you can't remember the beginning of the sentence, then that's how you could get confused. But otherwise, like, it's pretty idiot proof.
Like it blows me away. Like, I mean, but also you got to think, like, this university is housing people that do, you know, university courses like geography, geology. I mean, these are things.
Still, if you got into university, like, your reading comprehension, at least you would expect is at a certain level.
I mean, you'd hope so, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
If it's just lucky, because I mean, some of these people just. I'll probably end up meeting them 20 years down the line in my work.
Oh,
in
yeah.
psychology.
That's patience.
Yeah, so, I mean, did you know that also Sam is doing something similar to me?
What?
Sam's doing, I remember correctly, forensic psychology, or criminology, sorry, criminology. Criminology. They're all kind of linked. Criminology, forensic psychology, very similar. Criminology is more to do with like the law and stuff like that. But yeah, so he's doing that right now. And I mean, I don't think he's enjoying it, to be honest. I don't think he does any work also at the same time.
What do you mean doesn't have any work? Like, he's studying, isn't he?
He doesn't do any work.
Oh.
He doesn't do anything. But
Well,
I'm not sure.
I guess some people can justify it because, well, they say I'm currently studying, so, you know, I don't really have time to get
No, doing
a
his
job.
schoolwork.
Oh,
No, I mean, like, when I say work, I mean, like, university work.
so what he's doing then? Why he's studying that, and like, what's
I
the
don't know.
point then?
I don't know, he's just, I mean, uni has a lot of other stuff than working. It's like going out, meeting people,
Yeah, I
things like that.
guess, yes, socializing is...
So I think he's
what people
really
mostly do.
taking advantage of that. He's been in university 1 year longer than I have.
Yeah,
I
isn't
don't
he
think-
isn't he way older than you as well?
Yeah, he's 23 right now, and I'm 19.
Well, yeah, I guess 23 is not too old. You still get like 4th year students, like who are
No, yeah, I mean,
in their 4th year, like around that age.
but he doesn't really look. He doesn't really look like he's 23. Like he looks about 19, to be honest. When I met him, he looked about the same age as me, to be honest. So you can't. But other than that, he is quite old. And then there's Dojo, who's what, 30 right now, and she's doing psychology as well. Oh no, she's doing philosophy. So I'm doing psychology and philosophy, and she's doing philosophy and psychology.
Oh, okay. So you switch minors and majors.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
What she plans on doing with philosophy? Well, I guess if she wants to be a writer, maybe that's fine.
No, she can't do anything with it. It's a useless degree.
Kinda.
Like, but I've already spoken to her about that, and she was saying like it's like a self-improvement degree sort of thing.
Right.
You know, it's just to like help her doing, I don't know, whatever with her life.
Well, it gives you something to talk about when you're in a pub. So, you know, it's much like history, studying history. Like, you have stuff to talk about. That's pretty much it.
I mean, when I first started doing my minor in philosophy, I didn't realize how valuable. Well, they teach you how to argue, like properly, how to actually argue effectively, and how to spot terrible arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a super, super good skill to have. It's helped me so much noticing how terrible people argue. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure if. Yeah, I don't think I got any formal education in that, so. Because I studied philosophy, like we had a course in philosophy.
I'm back to my proper.
Yes, now you sound like you should. Oh, damn! That you must live right next to a shop or something.
Yeah.
Everything must be very close.
6 minutes there, 5 to 6 minutes back. Yeah.
Scash. Station. So I will have it saved. Right. So yeah, we actually, we had a course in philosophy, but like it was very useful, very superficial. Like I can't really say I remember much. I just remember it as being a useless subject you need to take, and yeah, I can't remember learning anything useful there.
Yeah, so the best thing I've learned, so you do a lot of modules, and you do stuff like very theory based, which are very like I was telling you about Descartes. It's very imaginary, I guess is the best word. Like it's all, if everything didn't exist, things like that. But then you also have really valuable modules where it's like critical thinking, how to analyze, how to look at a philosophical argument and then check if it's wrong or right. How to look at their arguments, if their arguments make sense. And that it's like the maths of arguing.
Sounds really useful.
Breaking everything down. I know it is like, it doesn't sound it until you do it, and I thought the same as you, like it was crap.
No, I'm not saying it's crap. The thing you're describing sounds very useful, but the thing I got, how I remember studying philosophy in my university, like it definitely wasn't about that. It was just, I think our lecture was just bad. I think that's what,
you have stuff
what was.
You have stuff like Plato and stuff like that, the old Greek philosophers, and they will give you a load of, I don't want to say useless, but like it's so old now that it really has very little relevance in real life. And then you've also got stuff that it really does help you in everything but philosophy, you know, and just like reading through Facebook and reading someone's argument on why COVID doesn't exist, and then now you can just look at an argument and go bang bang bang, this doesn't work, and you could write a 500-word paragraph on just why everything about this argument fails, you know. And it's one of those things where it would take someone who hasn't done it 2 hours. It would take me now like 3 minutes, just because I've done it so many times now. I can just be like, it's just fast. I can do it in conversation, you know what I mean? It's a really good skill to have. It's really, really useful.
I think you just build that skill up anyways. I guess it's good to have formal education, but just in general in daily life when you discuss, if you're inclined to get into discussions with people, and like it's just something you
Yeah,
develop
so I
naturally.
was obviously like, you know me, I was obviously like kind of built for it. You know, I argue with everyone.
Very opinionated.
Yeah, exactly. So when I started it, I was very like, it just easy. I just got it easily, and I was naturally learned it sort of thing. And now but then it gets to the point where you want to be more technical with it, and then that's what it was more about. And then and that's about it's pretty much the only thing. Like I'll say it to you, the only thing that's actually useful with philosophy. Everything else is very much
Like thought
self-improvement. Yeah, and stuff like that. It's like it helps you with self-improvement, and if you're going to die, it will help you with that, and
well,
all
yeah,
that sort of thing.
coming to terms with the realities of life, I guess.
Yeah. But when you're my age, the only real useful thing is how to argue effectively and how to notice terrible arguments quickly.
Mm.
But in psychology, I've done children's psychology, I've done neuropsychology, I've done cognitive psychology, and then tomorrow I start digital psychology, or psychology in the digital space.
A second, I'll end the stream because I'm not